Released in 1983, the final chapter of the original Star Wars trilogy, Return of the Jedi, brings everything full circle and is wrapped up with a pretty little George Lucas bow. After the brilliance and darkness of Empire Strikes Back, we're served up what can only be described as Star Wars light for the kids. I was 8 when this was released, and at the time, and for a very short period, this was my favourite Star Wars movie. I think that only proves that 8-year-olds were the target market. It's only fitting that we're sitting here recording this episode on May the 4th, Star Wars Day. Whilst it'll be released in a couple days, it's always Star Wars Day here at Born to Watch. Joining me on the Tatooine Jabba's skiff, G-Man.
G'day, great to be here. Looking forward to rounding out the trilogy.
The only trilogy. The only Star Wars
real
trilogy.
Yeah, good rewatch. Haven't seen Return of the Jedi for quite some time.
Okay.
It's probably not the one you go to if you're going to watch a Star Wars movie.
No, it's not.
But yeah, good rewatch.
Yeah.
Ready to talk about it.
Sir Dimmy, welcome back.
Yes.
Good?
Skiff.
Yeah.
The sail barge. So you've
Sail
gone.
barge.
You've
I've
gone
gone
skiff.
sail barge.
Yeah.
Skiff. I like the skiff. I've got
It is. Yeah.
a bit to talk about.
Very
on
nautical.
The skiff.
But I'm just sitting here, and all I can see is Star Wars shit in front of me.
You like it?
Even the Lance or the whatever
Scout
Trooper helmet.
Yep.
Very Jedi-ish.
It
Yes.
is. Well, there's a lot of Jedi paraphernalia
Look,
around.
there's Lego.
Mate, this yeah. When you start actually looking at the detail in this room,
There's a little Yoda light down here.
Star Wars shit everywhere.
Yoda light.
Yeah.
Oh, have you only just noticed?
Well, I generally look at it like holistically, but when I'm looking now at each particular figurine, it's like, man, this is riddled
Yeah, riddled.
with Star Wars
Absolutely.
crap.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
We are, of course, Born to Watch, the movie podcast where we don't take ourselves or the movies too seriously, except Damo.
During the Snorbs report,
Do we have one tonight?
Oh,
mate,
surely.
I have, I failed the week before with
did.
Texas Chainsaw Mascara. That was
That was disappointing. I thought if there was a movie that was going to have a Snorbs report,
Yeah.
it'd be that one.
and as we said, the main girl Sally, or what was her name?
She would have been a very good
Absolute
Snorbs report.
sliding doors moment. She could have been one of the greats if she got
Skin
a
of
Norks
axe.
out. Yeah. But I've got a story. I've got a story.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well done.
Got a story.
Now, obviously, it's not known, or it's not unknown, that we are all Star Wars fans here on Born to Watch.
Mm.
Even Morgs.
Yeah.
Even though he's very harsh on the new properties.
Well,
The original
fair.
The original trilogy, we're all very, very strong fans. Everyone knows Star Wars is my favorite movie. But overs and unders. Now, 83, this came out. It's 42 years old. I've been very liberal and very easy, I think. I've said 25. Now, we're going to start with you, Damo. Where do you sit with Return of the Jedi, over or under?
I'm under, but I have watched this a shitload. I
Yeah.
reckon I've seen it about maybe 15 plus times.
That's
I'd
a
say.
lot, man.
Yep,
That's a
I
lot
reckon
for
so.
you.
Yep, definitely.
Okay. And do you remember first seeing it?
I do because I had a false start. In 1983, we went to a friend's place, like a family barbecue thing, and they had this really grainy, crappy pirate video of it.
Oh.
And they had it playing when we got there, and we got there like they were half an hour or 40 minutes into it. I was so pissed off.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. And I was thinking, I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it. And I didn't, and I resisted, but it was so grainy and so shitty. And then I don't know, maybe it came out a month later, maybe more. I don't know how long it took between America and Australia
Usually
release.
It took some time.
It took months.
It
Yeah.
took some time.
So, and then I can't actually remember, but I know I went to the movies and watched it.
Okay. G-Man, same question. Overs and unders, 25.
I'd have to be around the 25 mark, I'd say.
Yep.
Watched the shitload when we were kids. Loved it. Rounded out the trilogy.
Yep.
Had it all. I'm pretty sure I had a pop-up book for this movie. You know, these
Oh,
pop-up books? You used to get
yes.
those.
And then it came out the 3D book.
Yeah, like you
sort of
come
thing.
out and
Yeah.
things. I'm sure I had a pop-up book for
Yeah.
this.
I've got a heap of books just in the room here.
Have you got those pop-up books?
I don't think I have the pop-up book, but I've got the
I remember them.
books. I've got
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
possible conceivable book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I reckon about 25. I can't remember when I first saw it, but I'm pretty sure as soon as it came out.
Yeah.
Because I was a massive fan.
Mm.
And I remember hanging out for this to come out.
Yeah.
Remember
Oh,
just
you
waiting
hung
for it.
out for years, didn't you?
Well,
From Empire was about
And
3 years.
you heard stuff about he was a Jedi and all this. And
Yeah.
he's a full Jedi now because it obviously came out later in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I guess I'm obviously well overs. I'd be, oh God, frightening.
Well, Star Wars, what were you, 1,000 or
1,000.
800?
I'd be 900 to 1,000 times
Yeah.
Star Wars. Look, I'd be a couple hundred times with Return of the Jedi.
Yep.
Comfortably. Again, video shop darling. Everyone hated it.
What?
I'd just put the trilogy on and just play them during the day.
Yep.
And I saw this at the movies. I was ravenous for Return of the Jedi.
Oh, yeah. No, I was too.
And
Yeah.
I guess and being 8, you're right in the wheelhouse. 5.
Oh, yeah.
5 as a 5-year-old for Empire. So I saw Star Wars at the movies in the re-release.
All right, when
for
Empire came out.
right?
Yeah.
So that I was too young to see it. I was only 2 in 77, but in 80, I was old enough to go to the movies. So I saw Star Wars in the re-release, saw Empire at the cinema, and then in 83 was obviously old enough to know really what was going on to then go, oh my God, I'm excited about this. And of course, then we saw it again in 97 when it got re-released at the cinemas and all that kind
With
of
all
stuff.
the add-on stuff. Yeah.
With all the add-ons, which at the time I was like, oh, this is okay.
Seemed cool. Seemed cool at the time.
I really, really got down on it this time watching it, the special edition.
Yep.
I think this is the one, and I'll talk about it a bit later on, but I think this is the movie where they go too far with it.
Oh, no, I think from the first one, just the add-on stuff.
Yeah.
I think when we commented, whenever we did Star Wars,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was part of my ugly, all that new shit
For
that
sure,
they stuck in.
but I
You
think,
can tell it's put in, though.
Oh, I know.
It's like they've
but a lot
copied
of
and
the,
pasted it in.
but a
It's
lot of the
horrible.
Star Wars stuff is transitional.
Background shit. Yeah. No.
The frame feels overcrowded
Yeah,
in this
okay.
movie.
Yeah.
And anyway, we'll get to there. G-Man, why don't you tell us a bit about Return of the Jedi?
I've got 3 taglines for you.
Oh, tag team.
The Empire Falls.
Oh, that's
Now,
really
Wow.
incredible.
yeah.
Profound.
You've got to give me something better than that. Yeah.
You've got from the 85 reissue poster, Return to a Galaxy Far, Far Away.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
get me.
Or
That'll
you've
get me.
got,
It's a lot of returns.
well, you remember that in the second one, it was The Battle Continues.
Yes.
For this one, it was The Saga Continues.
Oh,
well,
yeah, it
the
is a saga.
ends.
Yeah. Well,
I should say the saga ends.
yeah. Well, it continues and ends.
Continues.
No, it doesn't.
Well,
It
maybe,
continues and
maybe
continues.
he was already thinking, oh, I'm going to cash this up. You never know.
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you a bit about the movie. In the spectacular final chapter of the Star Wars saga, Luke Skywalker and Princess Leia must travel to Tatooine to free Han Solo by infiltrating the wretched stronghold of Jabba the Hutt,
Richard.
galaxy's most loathsome gangster. Reunited, the rebels team up with tribes of Ewoks to combat the Imperial forces on the forest moon of Endor. Meanwhile, the Emperor and Darth Vader conspire to turn Luke to the dark side, and young Skywalker is determined to rekindle the spirit of the Jedi within his father. The galactic civil war culminates in the ultimate showdown as the rebel forces gather to attack the seemingly defenseless and incomplete second Death Star in the battle that will determine the fate of the galaxy.
Whoa.
Wow.
Nice work.
Now, with Ewok, could Ewok be its own plural? Could it be one Ewok,
Well, I
many Ewok?
Well, a murder of Ewok? I think it's Ewoks, though, but yes.
I think it is
Yeah.
Ewoks.
Well, yeah.
It is Ewoks in
Oh.
here.
Yeah.
But,
Just-
yeah.
All right. Well, let's. I've gone back to 1983 for the original trailer.
Oh.
This is going to be something
Yeah, this would have been good.
spectacular.
Yeah.
You remember the last one, the Empire one? It was a rip-off of Harrison Ford talking over the top. Let's see what it is this time around.
Return for the climactic clash between the forces of good and evil. Return to a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. You know, you've always had long life dreams to be a voiceover guy.
Yeah.
You could do that.
I could have smashed him.
Yeah, you would have.
You
Yeah,
could definitely do that.
I definitely do that.
He really.
I should be. That's what I should be doing for a job.
You should do.
Voiceover. Yeah.
Yeah,
Behind the mic.
VOG, a VOG.
Yeah. That's
Thoughts on the trailer, gents?
had everything in it.
Yeah, covered everything.
Gives everything away.
It does. Like, especially like, if you wanted to keep the battle on Endor a little bit of a secret, because it was, oh shit, here they come. The Na'vi are here with their Ewoks, and they're going to fight for you. They give that away.
There's no Jexuli.
No.
Okay, yeah, look, not a bad trailer.
I think it looks good.
Does give too much away.
You'd be going to see it. If
Oh,
you're a
for
fan,
sure,
mate.
you'd be jumping all over that.
Yeah, just a couple of that final shot, that point of view of you're flying in that spaceship and all those TIE
all the
fighters
TIE fighters
are coming
yeah.
straight at you and you go past them. It's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's a great shot.
Yeah.
Great shot. Okay, critical thinking. IMDb rates Return of the Jedi 8.3 out of 10.
Yep.
Number 94 in the top 250 on
Yep.
IMDb.
Wow.
Certified fresh, 83% tomato meter with a 94% popcorn meter.
94% sounds about right.
Yeah, it's high.
All right,
It's
so
high.
Whitey, hit us with someone who's going to say something bad about it.
Okay, I'll start with a bad review. Rex Reed of the New York Post. Let's not pretend we're watching art. Richard Marquand, who directed with George Lucas's instructions, is certainly not pretending. He has given Return of the Jedi all the style of a Saturday kiddie matinee serial.
Oh, I think Reed Rothschild's got a couple of points there. But I don't think he hits the money.
No, I don't.
Is his writing partner Dirk Diggler?
Yeah.
I think so.
Reed Rothschild is one of the greatest
Good name.
names.
Was the other Brocklanders?
Brocklanders.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and one of the great names, but John C. Reilly in Boogie Nights is one of the great characters.
He's
So-
awesome.
Hang on, when is John C. Reilly never? Like,
He is-
he's so
he
good.
is so unbelievably good. Okay, good review. Michael Wilmington of the Chicago Tribune. The film is a huge, rousing finale that resolves all plot twists, settles all accounts, reunites old friends, and sweeps to a climax that all but blows the theater apart.
Does tie a lot of all sort of loose ends. A nice denouement
Yes,
finale. I'd like that in a movie.
yeah, it does tie it. It does tie everything up though.
It does.
And yet, at the end, they're together and celebrating, and it does. You leave quite satisfied.
Feeling happy.
Yeah.
It's very George Lucas. Very
Yeah.
George Lucas. Okay, G-Man. Now, we're going to do something a little different, I think, with ordinary people. What have you
Ooh.
got? What do you got planned for us?
Look, we've been through it, and there's not a lot of characters or not a lot of people to go through with this because you've got
Well,
you've got the main characters who we've talked about ad nauseum.
you may have hit it on the head, though, yeah. There's not a lot of character building. We're going to do something a little different for ordinary people. Take it away.
I'm just going to talk because we said there's not a lot of different characters in this. It's the same people we've talked about. I just want to talk a little bit about remembering when I saw them and what it meant to us. So let's talk about that. So Mark Hamill, when he walks in as Luke Skywalker,
Oh,
and
absolutely.
he walks into Jabba's palace
Yep.
in the black gear, and he
Yeah.
walks in with the hands crossed, and he's just like a full Jedi. I remember cheering.
I agree.
So yes, he's fully a Jedi
Yeah.
now.
I've got it in
And he
my,
comes in so cool, calm, and collected.
I've got it in my good, bad, ugly. His entrance into the palace, the silhouette, him coming through the big door, excellent.
Yeah.
Great shot.
He's just,
So
but he
he
just
looks
walks in
Badass.
and he's just badass. He's got the
Yeah.
black on, and you're like,
I know.
yeah.
Bit
He's-
irony. He's got the black on.
I know,
Yeah.
but
He's
how
black.
good did he look in the black
does.
shit,
It's a
mate?
good-
He looked like he was there. He's like, well, don't mess with this bloke. He's a
the
new
man in
new man.
he looked like he'd done the hard yards at Sensei Greville's
Ooh,
Kumite Palace. And
that's
and
that's
he
some
knew his
praise.
stuff by then.
That's praise.
That's high praise.
Yeah.
And I was just so excited to have him back at the screen. But what I want to say though is when he walked in with that hairdo and it's a full
Pretty
hair
shit.
and it's combed across, it's like the hair that your mum made you get for your year 4
Yeah.
photos.
It
Yeah,
was
they pull your pants up
horrible.
around your belly button and,
Yeah.
and you get the hair, and it was like that.
That was
I
my
think
year
I swear
12.
I've got photos like
Yeah.
that where it's just combed over the side of your head.
Do you know what?
Terrible
I
hair.
actually watched,
Half over the
yeah,
ears.
I watched
Yeah.
the episode of Seinfeld this week where he wants to get a haircut. And he goes to Enzo.
Oh,
But he
cheats on him.
He wants to go to Enzo instead of whoever. I think Enzo cuts his hair, but he wants to go to his nephew.
Yes.
and he's got the hair and he's checking and the haircut that Enzo gives him is horrendous.
The little boy.
looks like
He
looks like
says
Luke-
you're 5 years old.
Looks like Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Well,
Even Harrison Ford's hair is pretty shit in this. Is like that same sort of
yeah,
half over the ears, a bit flat.
bit longer.
But
Yeah.
so's Leia's long hair.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she,
it's just
she,
so
looks, she looks
super
better
long.
than the blokes though.
Yeah, well, yes. Of course she does. Yes. She looks good in this. in
But
the
yeah,
class.
I agree. I loved that when he turned up. He's like,
Yeah, that was to me perfect. And he's back because everyone loves Luke, and he was down and out in the second one. He was out on the bottom of the antenna. They picked him up
Yeah.
and he was getting his hand sewn back on. So for him to come back in,
There's
you're
a
just like-
deleted
you're just cheering.
there's a deleted scene that happens before he goes to the palace where he's in a cave on Tatooine and he's making his saber.
Saber. Yeah.
he's making it.
And R2's outside.
The green one, yeah.
Yeah, and he's sort of just doing the finishing touches to it and then ignites it.
Yeah.
See it on YouTube. It's really cool.
That's
And then when it comes in with the green one, you're like, he's got a green one. He's got a green saber.
It wasn't green always. It was blue to begin
Like
with.
I've never
Yeah.
noticed the colours like ever. I don't think.
Really?
Yeah,
Colourblind.
I don't get. Well, yeah, maybe
Lightsaber colorblind.
they're all grey to me.
Yeah.
No, I just haven't cared. Oh, it's a green. It's a purple. It's blue. It's red.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The second defining role of Mark Hamill in his career, apart from being cockknocker in
Oh,
Probably
I forgot
his
about
best
Cockknocker,
known
but that
One of the-
is
One of the great voice actors.
yeah,
Of all
Yeah.
time.
comic
amazing.
books, cartoons. The Joker, wasn't he? The Joker
Yes.
in Batman.
Oh, he's done so much.
Yeah.
So much.
The Cockknocker was his best role.
Scooby Doo, Child's Play.
Yeah, he's a lot of
He did
voices.
Chucky's voice. He did Lego DC Supervillains, Transform, Johnny Bravo.
Joker.
Done heaps of stuff.
Mm.
good.
Look, let's move on to Harrison Ford. Now we've had him in a lot of movies.
Yeah,
I was
maybe the most.
No.
don't reckon he's
Nah,
been in a few.
He's up there.
Of that we've done.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
we've done. Yeah, we had something the
Oh.
other week. I mean, even Stallone or
Oh, I think it'd be Stallone.
No, it'd be Kurt Russell. Kurt's got to be up there.
yeah, it could be
We've-
Kurt.
we haven't done many Kurt movies, mate.
We did a heap early on.
No, we did Backdraft. We did
Well,
Big
we
Trouble
could-
in Little
we'll-
China.
we'll
we
have
did
to-
Tango and Cash.
We'll have to do this. Get the stats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get on that.
4, and we've done 4 Rocky movies.
Yep.
Plus Tango
Rambo.
and Cash.
Yeah.
Plus First Blood.
Yeah.
Stallone would be number 1,
Stallone
I
would
would
be up there.
think.
You're right. Look, yeah, Harrison Ford. Look, I remember coming in when you see him on the wall, like, oh, he's still frozen. He's still on the carbonite. Oh no, what's going to happen? And then he gets when Leia lets him out. I actually quite like that scene
It's a great scene.
when she lets him out, and
Someone
then
who loves you.
yeah, and then she takes off, and he's like, oh, it's Leia.
Yeah.
So they're all there,
Yeah.
and then you've seen Lando with his grill on.
You see him, yes.
Yeah.
You go, oh, hang on.
But you know what? You see him, and you know it's him.
Yeah,
Yet they still pull.
He
the
even
fucking-
pulls it down.
so
Yeah, I know.
dumb.
I know.
I've actually got
Mate,
that
it's
later
for,
on.
it's for the
Yeah.
kids. For the
This
kids.
is what I
So,
mean.
Who's that? Who is
Why?
that?
It would be a way better reveal if it's revealed on the skiff.
Mm.
Like for the kids, they go, "Oh, it's Lando,"
Oh my God, it's Lando. Yeah,
but don't give it
you
away.
could tell. Yeah,
Yeah. Look, it's. Yeah. I noticed that when he pulls it down, and then all of a sudden the whole, we got the band back together. They're all there.
The Max
I loved
Rebo
it when
band.
I loved it when
Yeah.
well, I loved it when the band got back together.
Yeah, no, it was really good. I liked that. He couldn't see. I was
And he's in the
stoked.
same cell with Chewie and
Look, what I do want to say about Jabba's palace is that, like, he's the most, what I say, wretched, loathsome, offensive brute.
Mm.
Yet I can't look away.
Yes.
But anyone can get in there. Like, all these people come in and, like, no one goes, oh, that's Lando Calrissian. He used to,
Yeah, I
used
know.
to be at the Sky City of Bespin and was a smuggler. No. People just get in. People just walk in. He's like,
well,
oh,
you,
yeah.
no, you just tell them any story to that eyeball that comes
Yeah,
out.
I've
Yeah,
got,
and there's-
I've got a few
yeah.
questions about it. if
Yeah,
there's
it's just
time.
like,
you just-
oh,
okay.
you want to come in here? You're a badass. Oh, come on in.
and it's because it's one hell of a door.
Yeah, it is.
Big door,
Yeah, big door.
hollow door though.
Yeah.
When C-3PO taps on it, it's
Yeah,
like
dunk,
ding,
dunk,
ding,
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 yeah.
ding, ding.
Like the door that Kurt Russell, Snake Plissken smashed
Yes.
through
Oh yeah.
in Escape from New York, which
Not-
sounded like paper.
Not like the door in Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Oh, well, that took a bit to cut through that.
the big steel door.
Oh, that one.
Big slam
Yeah,
door.
slam shit. Yeah.
And then we'll just talk a bit about Carrie Fisher. Now, you talked about
Mm.
her longer hair. And what I noticed was, obviously, it's a new level of Leia when you
Side
see her
boob.
in the bikini. And you're
Yeah.
like, oh, she's looking really good in this movie.
And her face has matured a bit more.
Face
And
has
yeah.
matured.
I think
Yeah.
I think she looks the best in Empire. I think she's at her prettiest in Empire, but you cannot look away from
No.
Slave Leia.
Great legs.
Yeah.
What I will say about it is that I noticed in this rewatch that she's a much softer character this time. Like, in the first ones,
She's a bitch.
she's more she's more commanding,
direct,
and she's
yeah.
and there's a lot more banter between her and Han.
Yeah.
And in this one, I noticed it's much more the softer side.
Yeah, you're right.
It seems.
Well, do you think
Yeah.
that the facade has come down with the "I love you, I know"? You think the facade is down?
Yeah.
So now her only mission since that day has been to find Han.
Yeah.
So then,
But
she's
even
in
throughout
love.
the-
She's a woman in love.
but even throughout the movie, she's not
a
the
woman in love.
And
I'd
I'd
do
do
anything
anything
to
to get you into my world.
Who said we couldn't
And
sing?
hold you within.
Who
It's
sung
a
that?
right.
Who sung that?
Barbara Streisand and Barry Gibb.
Ah, yeah, right, of course. Babs.
Yeah.
Good old Babs. Yeah, so I just found that she was it wasn't the hard nosed character that she was in the earlier movies.
Yeah.
But very much softer.
Definitely right. I didn't actually. I notice it now when you say it. Yes, definitely.
I will also say that when I looked through the list of the cast, there was an uncredited performance for Peter Allen.
I saw that too.
Really?
Yeah.
Was he in an outfit though? Was he in?
He was one of the singers. One of the
No, do you
someone
know
in,
who
the,
he
in
was? He
Jabba's
was
palace.
probably the stand-in for Sliced Noodles. The singer.
Sliced Noodles.
The Copa.
Yeah, doing in the maracas.
He's doing
Yeah.
the
He could have
boy
been
from Oz.
the-
An early boy from Oz.
but not Barry Manilow.
He could have
No,
been the
not
blue.
Barry,
He
but
could
you
have been
know
the
what I
blue piano guy.
Could be.
Yeah, I saw that
Is he
too.
Max
Yeah.
or Rebo? Which one's he?
I don't know, the big blue piano elephant snuffleupagus.
Well, you're gonna. Well, I've got a little surprise for you later on.
Oh, okay.
But look, I think we can cap that there. I mean,
Yeah.
not many more to go through.
No.
No, I think I've got to say it was great. I'm with you, Damo. When the band gets back together, when they're all,
Yeah.
and there's, it's a bit like the A-Team,
It is.
right? When I've got a bit to question as we move on about it though.
You know who I
Mhm.
did like the introduction of though, of different characters? The Gronks.
Which one? The
You know, the
Gronks.
Gronk character, yeah, the green.
Oh, the
guards.
Gamorrean.
Oh, the
Guards.
Gamorrean
Yeah,
guards.
yeah.
Yeah.
The
They're
Gronks.
great. I love them.
Yeah, I
the
love them.
Gamorrean
They're
guards.
awesome.
There's some
Except
really
the poor one that goes down to the Rancor,
Mate, they would be the best props.
squealing for his life.
They'd
Yeah.
be such good props. They are
Yeah.
like so wide.
Yeah,
There
Chunky.
are- yeah, they are. There's some really good additions character-wise in Return.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely well done on the merchandise, George.
Yeah.
Which is what they're all for. G-Man, box office, awards.
Oh, it'd be tiny.
So so domestically 316.5 million, internationally 166 for a worldwide of 482 million.
Yep.
Number one for the year, a budget of 32.5 million. So made it's 10 times the money, more than that,
Yeah.
way more than that. Opening weekend did 23 million.
Far out.
So it was opened in 2,111 theaters.
It's like $4 a ticket.
Yeah, but the average run in those cinemas was 19.3 weeks.
Shit, yeah.
Well,
Now
Well,
we've had
nothing-
some that were
nothing
down at
else to
6
do.
to 7 weeks.
5
I know, but
months.
That's
less, yeah.
huge.
Yeah.
It's a huge amount. But look, in that year, we've sort of been through this year before, but that was
Yeah,
the,
we have done a
that was
couple
the
of
top movie. 83 Terms of Endearment had the most nominations ever. The Right Stuff had 11. Right Stuff came in with 8. But Best Picture, Best Director for James Brooks, Terms of Endearment. Robert Duvall, Best Actor for Tender Mercies. Shirley MacLaine, Best Actress for Terms of Endearment. And Jack Nicholson, Best Supporting Actor for Terms of Endearment. So the top 5, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Flashdance, so 482 million. Flashdance was 201 million.
Doubled.
So more than
Yeah.
doubled. Octopussy, 187 million.
Yeah.
oh, it's a pretty average.
Never Say Never Again, 160. And then Staying Alive, 126.
Table five. Remember Disco Stew
Yeah.
in The Simpsons?
Yeah.
And he's dancing on the table.
But I just,
garage
That
sale.
is
But I just
pretty
wanted
good,
to come-
yeah.
I want to round out the top. I want to round out the top 10 for you because there's a couple in the top 10 you may not think. So, Staying Alive, number 5. Number 6, Terms of Endearment, as we said,
Yeah.
well received for the awards. Trading Places, number 7.
Oh,
Good
great
movie.
movie. Yeah.
Great Snor's Report.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Number 8, Jaws 3D.
Oh,
wow.
Number 8 month. Well, it did 88 million.
it
Wow,
was.
what a terrible
Now
movie.
it's coming. It's going straight off its predecessor.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a terrible movie.
Yeah.
Number 9, Superman 3,
Same thing going off its
Terrible movie.
predecessors.
Terrible
Yeah.
movie.
and then number 10, War Games.
Oh,
Broderick.
right. Yeah.
Broderick and Sheedy. Good movie that. Now I've done a little bit of adjusted for inflation.
Oh, yeah. It'd be
Yeah.
interesting. It'd be
So
well
the
over
budget,
$1 billion.
The budget, 105.9 million
Yeah.
adjusted for inflation. The box office, number 17 all time.
Yeah.
860,486.
I thought it would hit $1 billion.
So it's
Well, hang on. So it cost 30 million to make. So adjusted, it's 100 million. So it's over 3 times. So that means it should be 3
it
times.
should be.
So
It
which
should
would be 1.2 billion.
It should be, but it's not.
Well, there's
I'm gonna
inconsistencies
check
in your
stats.
calculator.
Oh,
Check the
your
stats.
Whitey.
So I'm not a stats guy, but
I'm a stat man.
beep. Well done, G.
Nice work.
Any awards?
Should have won a few things, I'd imagine.
I didn't actually go down the awards route. I'll have
Okay,
to look that up,
MTV.
yeah.
MTV Best Kiss.
Best Kiss had to be.
Absolutely. With that Ewok on the cheek.
Oh, for sure. Wicked.
Warwick Davis.
Okay, well done, G. Good job. Hit, sleeper, dud, and I know G's got a few, and I do
got a
have it
few.
in here for the list. Do you want me just to give you what
Yeah.
what I've got on here, or
Yep.
do you-
Sure,
Go
you
for it.
Okay, the hit is Damo.
Is that what?
The hit for the year is Damo.
Oh, you're saying for me to do it?
Yeah.
Fuck it, duck. How long have we been doing this? You've done 100 episodes of this podcast now.
It was a tough one. I've gone for Lone Wolf McQuaid.
Wow. I reckon Gow's
Chuck
got
That was my
Norris.
sleeper.
Okay,
That was my
I'm not going to
sleeper.
go that. I'm going to go for Hot Dog.
Oh,
Hot Dog the movie because there's a great snobs report
Is
in
that
that.
the skiing movie?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Hark and
think we've
Banks.
spoken about that.
I have,
before.
yeah.
you can kiss my ass. Not on this side, not
Sunny
on that
side
side,
up. Sunny
but
side
right
up.
in the middle.
Yeah. Okay, so that's they're
Okay,
mine.
Okay. I've got the sleeper, G, so you're on the dud. My sleeper is The Dead Zone, Stephen King's adaptation, Christopher Walken. Man awakens from a coma to discover he has a psychic ability to foresee future events. It's also got Martin Sheen in it.
Nice.
Really good. Really good thriller. G-Man, you busting to get some stuff out here.
No, well, like the hit of the year, which you guys clearly haven't seen, is Revenge of the Ninja, the greatest ninja movie of all time.
Oh, is it?
Shokasugi and his son,
Choi.
It's hard to beat.
Choi Suzuki or something like that?
Ko Suzuki.
Ko. yeah.
Kane Suzuki. I don't know. But the dud that I had, and I think I mentioned this last time, but it's just a movie, and it's a dud because it's called Daniel.
Oh, it must be shit.
So it must be rubbish.
Daniel, my brother.
There's Timothy Hutton and
do.
Mandy Patinkin.
Oh, I love Mandy Patinkin. He's
Yeah,
a great
good.
actor.
Good singer.
Is he?
Did you ever hear? What was it? What was the?
Did he sing?
Yeah, he was on. What was the show? That he
Inigo
was on
Montoya.
when he was the doctor.
Solid Gold.
He was on. St.
Oh,
Elsewhere
right. Yeah,
or-
yeah. One of those things.
Chicago
Yes.
Hope or
Yeah,
whatever
Yeah,
it
one of
was.
those. Yeah.
Right.
And his wife was in the. His wife had to go into the institution because she was having
Oh.
some mental problems, and
Apparently he's a bit-
he was singing and playing the game.
Oh, okay.
Apparently, he's a bit of a cock in real life.
Really?
Oh, really? No.
Mandy. I always be wary of a guy with a name called Mandy.
Mandy. Rich. Oh,
Oh,
Hey,
you
no,
came
no,
and
it
you
was-
gave me a turkey
yes.
on my vacation away from working.
Yeah, okay. Bit of Homer Simpson.
Oh, we're Simpsoning it up today.
Yeah.
And interesting, obviously, the first Star Wars Family Guy movie was called Blue Harvest, which is what Return of the Jedi's name was. Production name was
Oh,
called Blue
was it?
Harvest, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Let's listen a bit of early pre-listen to this.
Absolutely. Little,
Yeah.
I'm full of it.
Yeah.
full. Okay, question time, gentlemen. This is the biggest question time we have ever done.
Oh God.
Why does Vader have to threaten with the Emperor to get the Death Star finished? Surely Vader going, get this Death Star finished is enough. He says,
That's why
"Well,
it's funny.
the Emperor's turning up, so you better get it done." Oh, shit, okay. We said that we don't have enough people to you, but now the Emperor's coming, shit.
I hope
Yeah.
so, Commander. For your sake, the Emperor is not as forgiving
Giving
as
his
I am. Which was good though, because it's like, holy shit, this guy's worse than Vader.
Yeah.
We will double our efforts.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I think
What was his name? Moff Gergerod?
Gergerod, yeah, Moff
Gergerod.
Gergerod, yeah, Gergerod,
Moff.
Moff, yeah,
Not Grand Moff. Grand Moff
Grand Moff
Tarkin.
Tarkin, no.
Okay. Is that a robot spider in Jabba's palace?
It was a big one too.
Yeah.
It scared
Mm.
3PO.
Yeah. It's like a huntsman.
I'd
a
say
big-
it was.
What
It
was
had
it?
a big body.
But it had like a glass body.
Yeah,
But what's the point of a robot spider living in the
big
in the
flies.
shadows?
There's some big flies
Okay,
there.
all right.
Yeah, big
if
web.
It's pest
Pest
control.
control.
Out
Yeah.
in the deserts of Tatooine.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's pest control.
Oh, womp rats.
You
Yeah,
had
a lot
the-
of
Womp rat
Yeah,
duties.
okay, you had the pest control.
Right.
I'm all for
A
pest
Salacious Crumb would have been in trouble, I reckon.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
That's why he stayed next to
Oh, he's got
Jabba.
that one tooth.
Yeah.
It's deadly.
Are we to assume?
Shoot you to death.
Are we to assume a couple things? They torture droids at Jabba's palace, and not only that,
They scream.
they feel pain.
Yeah.
I was thinking that when he screamed at his feet. I was like, "You're a droid, mate.
Yeah.
Get over it."
Yeah. I know.
Apparently, I had the subtitles on for some reason, and it said
Scream.
when he's screaming, it says do it again. He's loving it. He's loving it.
It did not.
It did.
Do it again.
It says do it again.
Like the S&M colour.
Spank me.
Do it again.
Spank
It's
me.
like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Harder.
Dominatrix.
harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whip me.
Yeah.
Whip me.
Bark like a dog.
Yeah. It was Galaxy begging.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Now, was Leia going to be Jabba's sex toy?
Well, he licked her. He gave her a good licking.
What? Yeah.
I think so.
Do you think so?
I think he would have, I
Do
mean,
you think he sort of, is there a bit of SA with the tail? How does he do it?
I don't know.
he's probably got some hidden old fella that comes out.
A
I
bit
don't
like
know.
a shark, it just sort of pops out when required, like a dugong.
No, he's just a tongue. He's tongue man.
Oh, he's all tongue.
Oh,
he's a tonguer.
He's
it
all
could
tongue.
be.
Just all tongue.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, damn,
Yeah.
bend over in front of me, Leia.
It's a big tongue. His tongue was a
Yeah.
2 foot long.
It was a big tongue.
Yeah.
Definitely. Now, Damo, this is essentially one for you.
Mm.
Does Jabba's palace smell worse than the Texas Chainsaw House?
Oh, well, because they just sleep. It's like they're all on the piss.
Yep.
They're all having a party and just sleep there next to the
Imagine the
dance floor.
toilets.
Mate,
Imagine the toilets. The plumbing in there
Well,
must be horrendous.
it would be really weird to have what sort of toilets there because they'd all have some sort of different sort of thing.
Well,
I reckon it'd be very difficult to cater for Star Wars toilets. Like,
Well,
it's not just male and female.
well, it would be. Yeah, you're right. So you think about you'd have squat toilet.
Some of them might,
There'd be unisex. There has to be unisex toilets.
but it'd be random. There'd be pits and there'd be
Yeah.
other things. Some
Yeah.
might
Tubes.
do it upside down. Yeah, because it's very difficult
Why
to
did-
do the plumbing
Why
in.
did you have this massive palace and then they're downstairs in the dungeon? And that's where they hung all the time.
Nice place to hang.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of
Mm.
Batman cave
Um,
vibes.
Batcave.
Now we alluded to this earlier, but are there no night guards at Jabba's palace? Luke just
There was
walks
two
in.
blokes. Oh,
So, the
Oh, he-
Gamorrean guards
No,
are
he took them
asleep.
down.
Yeah,
He took them down.
But the
he
Gamorrean
forced them.
guards are asleep. No one's in where Jabba's sleeping. There's no guards there.
no.
I tell you, mate.
When
he's-
Bush comes in with Chewie,
Yeah.
just hits the, and when she comes back down, she hits the wind chime.
yeah.
There's no one-
Yeah.
there's- Surely Jabba's
They-
got people
yeah,
standing guard.
Mate, I'm telling you, it's lax. Anyone can get in. There's no guards.
Yeah,
Like,
that's pretty.
Jabba's not running a real tight
But
shop
you
there.
probably wouldn't want to get in there. It's like
Yeah. Okay.
he's a pretty bad gangster.
Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, how in love with slave Leia were or are you? Let's
Oh,
go were.
I'm saying more lust than love.
Oh, okay. But what's okay? Object
Oh,
of
10.
desire. 1 to
Like,
10.
oh, absolutely. Yeah,
10?
I'm in.
G.
10.
Yeah, 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looked really. It was an interesting choice, wasn't it, for George to go, Leia, can you put this little skimpy bikini thing on and just have that little bit of ribbon there? Have your whole legs hanging out,
Yeah.
everything.
Apparently, there was a lot hanging out because it was a metal bikini, so it didn't
Yeah.
actually
Oh,
give.
Yeah.
There was quite a few wardrobe malfunctions.
Yeah.
They had to make sure that she could
She
get
was
tucked
tucked
Yeah.
in.
in.
Mm. Okay, why doesn't Luke use the Force in this movie? Except, okay, so he uses it at the very end with the Ewoks, but he's in the Rancor pit. Use the Force,
That's in my bad.
Oh, that my bad.
and
Yeah.
not only that, they get captured by the Ewoks. Just use the Force. Do you know what I mean? I know it's. I
He
know,
did in the end.
He did in the end,
yeah.
but it's like, well, we're just going to wait till we're strapped up.
He
Yeah.
could have just thrown them all away, like thrown all
Yeah.
the Ewoks. It did surprise me, but I think, and I thought about that a lot because thinking back, they didn't use the Force a lot, but in the later movies they used the Force.
They
all the
used it
time.
willy
Like, they're
nilly.
just throwing
Yeah.
everything everywhere. So back then you were used to not using. the
You
Force
might
a lot.
only have like 3 Force power buttons to use. That's like you had in the new ones. It's like just
Use it whenever you want.
you've cracked the code. You got
Yeah.
the cheat code. You
Yeah.
can just unlimited Force
Yeah,
use.
Force,
But back
just
then,
throwing
I
things
think
everywhere.
it was limited use. You didn't use it too much.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You
That's
had, to,
what
you
I
had to
think.
build up your Jedi power, and then you only had so much.
That's
of it.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Definitely
I'll
changed.
take your word for it. I'll take your word for it. How are Luke and Leia expert speeder bike riders?
Or the
I had, the same, I
pilots.
had the same question in my bad. How do
And
they
the
just
Ewok.
get on? How
And
do they just get on?
the
and they
Ewok
do it?
is the worst one. Like the Ewok has never seen a speeder bike before,
He can still go.
and he turns it on.
Yeah.
Knows
I
how
just-
to turn it on.
yeah.
I'll take that question broader. How does anyone just jump into like the Millennium Falcon or any of the ships and just go, yeah, I can just fly this.
Yeah,
I just know
I
to
know.
fly.
Okay,
I suppose it's like you getting into a Toyota or into a Ford. You can drive it.
So do you know
what's
what's the movie with Keanu Reeves and Neo? Like it's when they're like they're down
Matrix.
like, yeah, I know karate.
Yeah.
Like they could. I know.
Oh,
how to
they
fly, I know how to
probably
fly
got
this plane now.
downloaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's really cool, and a little bit of a spoiler alert for Andor, the latest season of Andor, is that Cassian gets in a new.
Oh, don't spoil me. I haven't
I
seen
know
it.
you
yet.
haven't seen it, but it's really cool. But he gets into a new TIE Fighter Avenger,
Oh,
which is
right.
a brand new ship, and he hops in there and has no idea how to
Well,
fly.
Poe Dameron didn't know how to fly it either.
Yeah, has
kind of
no
thing.
idea how to fly it.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was really cool. Thank God someone's gone.
Yeah, they've
You know
gone.
what? They couldn't
yeah.
possibly know how to fly every fucking.
Well,
ship.
even now, if you get in, say you go put your car in for a service and you pick up a loan car, it's like, oh, where the hell's the
Takes
fuel
you
thing?
five-
Where's the
takes you
park
5
brake on
minutes
this
to turn
thing?
it on.
Yeah, I know. You just got to check around. Are the
I-
blinkers on which side? What do you do? Where are the wipers?
I got a hire car. It was an electric. It was something a few months back.
Yeah.
I had to get on Google
Yeah,
to figure out how to turn the car on.
yeah, I know. Yeah,
And then told me I had to do it by my phone. I'm like, oh right, okay.
did you?
It was ridiculous. Then how does Luke find Han and the team after the speeder chase?
Oh,
He's gone for
dead
10
set.
minutes. He's got to be 50 kilometers away.
I know.
I had
That-
all the same questions.
Yeah, same thing.
They
Yeah,
just find their way back.
he is a long way.
And
A
I know,
long way.
and I know he can run fast because he's a Jedi, but he's not actually a Jedi yet.
Yeah.
Because he's got to kill his dad.
Yeah.
But he's a Jedi.
Yeah.
But how does he find him?
He found them, but they were so far away
Yeah.
because that speeder
Maybe
chase is 5 minutes going at about
A zillion
100
miles
k's
an
an
hour.
hour. Yeah.
Okay. Is it really incredible Jedi insights that Luke knows Leia is his sister, or just that she's the only woman in the galaxy?
There's Mon Mothma.
Yeah, but he knows she's not his
that's,
sister.
That's in the Mad Magazine parody, and there was a thing because I read it, and it was like Darth Vader's like, Leia, she's your sister, and it's like, how'd you know? Well, she's the only other girl in the movies.
Yeah.
There's no other
There's
possible
no other
sister.
possible
Yeah.
options for
It's
it.
not Bib Fortuna.
I was thinking when I watched it this time when she was, he's my brother, and then he's like, and he thinks for a second, he's like, oh, that's great. I think I'm sure he's thinking back going, didn't you pass your brother?
Well, it was a
back in
kiss
another
on the cheek. Oh, it was
No,
a little
he
bit of
grabbed
a.
you- grabbed
It
you with
wasn't.
the
Yeah,
empire.
it was a bit of a. But it was still. Yeah, you're right. It was about a 2 second.
I've got that in my good
Yeah.
bad, the ugly. Could they have thought of something other than a Death Star for the final chapter?
Well, they're rebuilding it.
But it
yeah.
doesn't work. And not only that, they rebuild it again,
Hey,
and it's got another fucking flaw.
yeah.
Quick stat for you: how much bigger than the original was it?
460.
You read the same thing.
What was it?
460% bigger than the original.
That is way bigger than.
way bigger?
Um,
It's like Jupiter.
I always thought it was the remnants of the old blown up one. That's what I always thought because when they were building it, it was like it looked like it was a
Got
damaged
blown
one.
to 6
Yeah,
zillion
I know,
pieces.
but that's what I always thought. It was like, oh, they've got,
Now,
got
no,
half of
I-
it back together.
I remember hearing as a kid, and you kind of believed it because you're like 6, that in the original one, when Darth they hit his TIE fighter,
Yep.
and it spins off,
Oh yeah,
and then he goes and lands somewhere, and then he starts building it out of his own spaceship, and like starts building.
is that
from
how it
there.
started?
And I was like, oh, that's how he started. He went
Makes
started
sense.
rebuilding himself.
Out of a TIE fighter.
But
That is the shittest thing I've ever.
But you know when you
You
some
start
kid wakes
there.
up when they're 8, and you're like, oh,
There's
wow,
a lot of
okay.
metal.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
a lot of metal in
Same
that
as
thing.
same as I heard that Luke's mum died. She got his lightsaber and she turned it on, but she's facing it the wrong way and it went straight through her guts.
I heard she was
Killed
doing
her.
a
Broken-
head.
Not. I tell you what, I would have much preferred that than Broken Heart.
Yeah.
Okay. I would have much preferred her stabbing herself with his.
I
lightsaber
heard-
Harry
than
carried,
Broken Heart.
but she just turned it on and just went the wrong
yeah.
way.
Or she was doing a
Cuts
head
herself.
spin on the side of a gutter and fell down, broke her neck, died.
It's 83.
Yeah, I
It was right
I
there like,
know.
with what were
She-
their
she
names?
lived
Ozone and
She lived on Hoth and slipped on an
Closer
ice
with-
patch. She slipped
Yeah.
on an ice patch on Hoth.
Yeah, probably.
Whitey,
Don't
you've hit
know.
on my bad so far, but I will say this: you're saying they're constructing this. How do they construct it in space?
Yeah.
How do they construct it in space? These fucking guards can't shoot a gun like these
Yeah.
stormtroopers, and they're out there building this.
Well, the engineers are good.
The engineers,
are good. Yeah.
I think the infantry are bad. Engineers and tech are good.
That's yes.
I
Yeah.
think that's
They
how
all.
it works.
Yeah.
So the original premise was it was going to be Wookiees rather than Ewoks.
Yep.
Is this a better movie with Wookiees?
Oh,
If they go to,
it
if
would
it's
be a better
Kashyyyk,
battle. It'd be because they'd be a real force. It'd be like the Na'vi.
I think it's a much better movie.
Yeah.
With Wookiees.
Yeah.
And it's more
It's
believable.
like, look at this hardcore army here. You know, like, holy
instead
shit.
of sticks and stones might break my bones, this
Yeah.
is like a proper war.
It's the cash grab. It's the
Oh,
money.
it's definitely merchandise.
It's the what I'm going to call the early Disneyfication of
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
now this is George Lucas 101.
I mean, it still works for me, though. It still works because you don't expect them to have a little army, but you know that they're kind of warriors because they hunt and kill and.
I know, but it's all the cutesy stuff. Like, no one dislikes the Ewoks.
No.
They're not like, what's his name?
Well,
In the next series.
Grogu. Oh, Jar Jar Binks.
Jar Jar Binks. It's
no.
not like that. But you just know it's for
Yes.
the kids.
It's for the kids.
Like,
It's
we're
for
making it
merch.
the
It's for
kids.
merch.
It's for merch and all that.
Okay. Why does the whole fleet go through hyperspace to the Death Star? Doesn't that put everyone at risk?
Was it the whole fleet? They have some back. Mon Mothma are still back at base, aren't they?
I don't know.
No, they're all there.
The whole
mate.
fleet goes, man.
But they think it's defenseless though.
Yeah.
They don't know. Remember, the Emperor says that. The
Yeah, but
Emperor,
how stupid is that?
but they think it's
All-
defenseless.
all
They're
their
just
eggs
going
in one
through, they're
basket.
Going, yeah, bang, we're going to take it down.
And let's annihilate them.
But they are. They're overconfident.
Okay.
They're thinking. We took them down once. We'll take them again.
It's a trap.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've already asked about how the fuck does an Ewok know how to start and ride a speeder bike? Now, here's a moral question. Is the dark side really that bad? Now, hear me out here.
Jesus.
In the Emperor and Vader's eyes, Luke is already a Jedi and a very powerful Jedi.
Yep.
Right? But Ben and Yoda say, in order to become a Jedi, you need to kill Vader.
Oh, it's just semantics.
Do you know what I mean?
It was, yeah. I mean, because you didn't.
But they got to talk him up. Go, you're very powerful. Otherwise, it's like a one-sided battle. Like Darth's a
But we
full
know
Jedi.
he's a Jedi. We know he is, but he's just got that fine little box to tick. It's a box ticking exercise.
It's blackmail.
Yeah.
It's emotional blackmail.
Oh, you go and kill
the
him.
only way for you to become
Yeah.
a Jedi, Luke, you have to
Well, you
kill
have
the
to
bad guy.
you have to
Mate, it's
face
like-
him. Yeah.
You're a great halfback, but if you haven't dominated Origin yet,
That's
then,
right.
You know, then you're not. You're not.
Yeah.
true
Has he won a grand
superstar.
final?
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Okay. Right.
Same thing. Yeah. Have you won
Yeah.
a Super Bowl? Have you won a grand
Yep.
final?
Yep.
All right. Okay. Not the answers I was looking for.
Right.
Not the droids I was looking for.
These.
Born to watch only.
Right.
Born to watch only fans. Now, we've had a couple reach outs on the voicemails.
Mm.
We're going to go to an old
Reach
hat.
out.
We're going to go to an old hat expert voicemailer first, and then we've got a new one. So, Damo, this is
Oh,
one
am I
for
getting
you.
abused?
Not yet.
Oh, good.
Boys, I've just turned on YouTube. Hey, I like YouTube. I've never done that before. I see you both, and I feel like you're talking to me. It was so cool. Can you just look at me every so often, though, so I feel like I'm in the conversation? All right. And it's even the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that I'm listening to, even though I refuse to watch the movie. But I'm going to watch you guys and listen. All right. See ya.
Now, Perp, this is for you. Damo, look into the.
Hey.
Gow, look into this. Perp, we love you. You're number one. You're the best.
Good on you, perps.
All right. I don't want to think about what you're doing at home watching YouTube while you're watching
Yeah.
us. But whatever you're
She's
doing,
working on a phone sex line. That's what she's
go for it.
doing.
Absolutely.
It's
She's
a
I think
side
she's
hustle.
she's actually tried to change her voice. She's got now.
Well, she's banging it on.
Yeah. But I think she's now feeling she doesn't want to turn too many people on.
Yes.
For free.
Okay.
For free.
Right, limit it.
It's
Yeah.
a
Why
power.
not?
It's a
Yeah,
power
it
she
is,
has.
yeah.
It's 1-800 Purple Lips. Call 1-800 Purple Lips.
Far out.
I like the verbs. Okay, next one. First time caller. Here we go. This could be a bit of a cracker.
Mm-hmm.
G'day boys, XRA Chumpers, a long time watcher. I've been encouraged to do this and should have sooner. I want to say I love your podcast, I mean it. I tried others and couldn't get into them. Aussies around my age doing a movie podcast, could they be what I've been looking for? Fuck yeah. I love the humour and that lifetime of mateship. You can hear it in every episode. Whitey the captain? Not of a team, Morgs, just the cockpit. Cockpit. Stats Guy G, love your work. A drinking and/or drunk Morgs for me is a bonus, never a disappointment. And Damo, a welcome addition, locked in that fourth spot. Well done. Does great stuff. Dan walking us into the 10 Slayer bits is a must. And the travel stories are an absolute necessity. Sorry, Whitey. I've listened to most of your pods multiple times. The rom-com lady stuff is tough. The movies that you love, I love, mostly. The movies that you don't, I don't, mostly. If you ever doubt what you're doing, don't. Catch you next Wednesday, fella.
Oh wow, XR8 Chup. Mostly, he
Love it.
loves
Yeah.
the
What a
mostly.
What a
Love it.
legend.
Yeah.
What an absolute legend.
Let's get him some merch out. Let's get him a 10 Slayer shirt.
So we're talking. We're talking.
Oh, right.
Gow's new shirt is just going to say Hawk on the front.
The Hawk Slayer. That is pretty good.
Hawk the fake Slayer.
Hawk the
Yeah.
10 Slayer. Hawk the 10 Slayer. Perps and XR8, you're the best. We love having you guys along for the ride. If you want to be part of the show like those two legends, leave a voicemail. Go to borntowatch.com.au and you will be part of history and Born to Watch lore. Share to your friends, share to your enemies. We'd love more people to come along for the ride. We are currently working on a collaboration with our great mates in the US of A middle-aged movie podcast. They have just done Empire Strikes Back.
No, did that because I was looking at their site
It's
today.
this week. It's been released.
Oh.
It'll be released. So they have just done it. So if you want a double
Yeah.
shot of Star Wars, go and listen to their episode of Empire. First, listen to our episode of Empire.
Well, their episode of Star Wars is a double header.
It's a double- 5 hours.
It's I know it's
5
long.
hours?
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
only 5
it's
hours
long.
of Star
Yeah.
Wars. They're doing Empire, which would have already been dropped, and then obviously you're listening to us. But go and follow the boys on Middle Age Movie Reviews. They're doing 1,001 movies you must see before you die, the book, and they're working their way through that. There's a little rumor there'll be a collab in July,
Ooh.
and the movie might be Mad Max.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, on their one.
On
Yeah,
their
right,
one.
right.
Okay, so
Yeah, yeah.
stay tuned, people. But go
Jim
and check
Goose.
out Middle Age Movie Reviews. They're good fellas. Like
Mhm.
them a lot. Okay, gentlemen, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Damo, what do you got for good?
I have mentioned a few already. I think I'll just start off with it. Leia's return serve finally with the I know,
Yeah, that was
That's
excellent.
good.
but it didn't get the publicity that Han Solo's I know got.
Yeah.
It's like because even all these years and years later, oh bloody Han Solo said I know, and then we have Family Guy,
Yes, the best one.
which is one
I
of the
love
best.
you. Fuck off.
But you never go. But by the way, you do remember that Leia got him back really nicely. So that was pretty cool. I can't not go past the Imperial March. It is one of the most magnificent pieces of villain music theme.
It's it's in the top 3. For me, it's in the
Yeah.
top 3 themes
Yeah,
in movie history.
it is so good. It's like, and it's the full orchestra. It's not just some little sort of,
It's not 6 people.
This is gigantic,
Yeah.
a gigantic piece of music, but it's also really versatile. If you listen to it, when 3PO is talking to the Ewoks and he mentions Darth Vader,
Yeah.
you can hear it in Ewok sort of sound, dong, 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 and then right at the very end, when there's one more final, like they have the couple of big fanfares when the Emperor lands and when Vader lands on the Death Star, but then right at the end, when he takes his mask off, you hear just one note or one finger on the piano,
Yeah.
a really high, slow version, just to signify the end of Vader.
Yeah.
Come on, it's just amazing what they did with that piece of music. So I absolutely love that.
Do you think the Imperial March has surpassed the fanfare, the Star Wars original theme?
I think so. I think
I
so.
agree. I think
Yeah.
it's probably not more recognizable. I think more people would know the
It's
Star Wars.
just,
theme.
I reckon they're on a par for recognizability.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, you might be right.
I-
I think it's better.
I like the Luke, the Force theme the best.
Binary
Yeah,
the binary sunset.
I
is
love that. I love
incredible.
that the best. But yeah, the opening theme and that are just such freaking amazing good piece of music. But I think Darth Vader, you can't see any facial expressions. All you can hear is James Earl Jones's tone of his voice, and they just have different close-ups of Darth going into his mask face, and him looking at Luke or sort of looking there.
There was
It conveys so much
Mate,
emotion.
I picked it up this time that when they first go to the Emperor, and Luke questions the Emperor, and Vader just looks at Luke like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
He's
just was like it was like almost like he's almost proud dad.
Yeah.
Like,
it was.
it was sort of like
His son, and he was calling him his son.
Yeah,
But you could see it it's like there's no facial expressions to do it. They captured more from a bloody mask than what in terms of emotion, than they've captured in all the other Star Wars put together. There was nothing like it. It was like, and it's just a shot of a freaking black mask.
Yeah.
And then James Earl Jones had a slight tone change in his voice. So I thought it was amazing too. I mentioned the Luke's interest, but the finale for me, the multiple battles going on, the stakes were so freaking high. Oh, we got to get disabled the shield
generator.
and the guys are getting wiped out up there. And then you got Luke conflicted with he's got to strike down the Emperor, but he can't strike down the Emperor, and he's got to then fight Vader. He does want to fight. There's so much shit going on. It's like the stakes were so high, the emotion was so high. I thought it was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah,
I thought it was so bloody good.
Yeah, the whole good versus evil, the good in or the evil in Luke versus the good in Vader. They played that out so well.
And you're going, how is this going to work? He can't do this.
Luke keeps fighting it.
He damns if he does, damns if he doesn't. Yeah, it was just like, how the hell is this going to pan out? Even now I'm going, I've seen it that many times and I know, but you're still going, wow, like there's so much going on. But the only final thing, like the old, the moment when Yoda was just so sick and tired of Luke asking questions, he decided to die.
Yeah, just had enough.
It's just like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah.
That's enough.
900-year-old.
Yeah.
You won't look this good.
Yeah,
No,
I
'cause
know.
I'll be dead at 70.
Yeah. But the actually other thing too, I was thinking too, like when Vader was saying, you don't know the power of the dark side, he's saying it to Luke. Was he saying that as a way to, or it's kind of like, you don't know the power of heroin. Like, it's not like come to this side, but it's like it actually consumes you, and it's not good for you.
Yeah,
like he's sort of telling him but it was kind of ambiguous.
Yeah,
that
it would almost felt like it was an excuse, like you don't understand.
Yeah, like this is the shit I'm going through. Like I can't
get out of it.
Yeah. Anyway, there's some goods.
Good. G-Man.
You've hit a lot of it. I will say that the opening music and scene, loud and straight into it.
Yeah.
When it blasts,
it's the best ever.
It
every time.
But it arcs back to the first movie. The Star Destroyer comes over the top.
No, I know, but I mean, but there's the whole thing. The mute, like as soon as I hear it every time, like
Star Wars comes up.
Yeah, like
you do.
Imperial March, and I'm like, you instantly in, like your heart's up and go.
Yep.
And I will say at the end, even the closing, like right at the end, you're just like, that's the end of the movie, and it just gets you every time. It's done. It's amazing. Luke is a fully fledged Jedi we talked about earlier.
Badass.
Love that when he walks in, he's just calm, wandering in.
Yep.
Kicking ass and taking names.
Yep.
The green lightsaber, again, loved it. It's already said it. My pop-up book, loved it. That's really the whole movie in general, I think, is a great, apart from the digitally remastered stuff, it's a great ending. The Ewok bit was okay. It wasn't overly done.
Yeah.
He still didn't take away from the story. They still fought in
agree.
space.
Yeah.
It was a part of the movie, not the whole movie. But yeah, so man, it's just the vibe.
Yeah, it's Marbo.
It's Marbo.
Yep. Cool.
It's the vibe.
All right. Well, obviously the music, you said the start, the arrival of Vader. So the shuttle Tidarian. So
yeah.
I love that ship.
It's a cool ship.
Great ship with how the wings come up.
Yeah.
Him coming down the steam, him coming through the steam, all the soldiers. It looks amazing that the Imperial March is playing. Look, 3PO is generally annoying, but I found him to be really good at the start of the movie. So he's like, okay, we should go. And then when he gets gifted...
knocking the door. No one's here. Let's go.
Yeah, but also then when he gets gifted to Jabba, he's like, oh, there's been a mistake. I thought that was really good. He then becomes annoying.
Which is good because Han Solo's always having a dig at him.
Han hates him.
It's so funny, yeah.
Han hates him. We've mentioned some of the new characters, the Gamorrean guards, Bib Fortuna, the scout troopers. Excellent. Really, really good.
Salacious Crumb.
Salacious Crumb. Morgs Fortuna.
I prefer his full name, Biblos Fortuna.
yeah, Biblos, yeah.
Biblos.
But Morgs Fortuna is pretty good.
Morgs Fortuna. I've already mentioned the great shot of Luke entering the palace, silhouetted with the door incredible. The Emperor's arrival is
Oh,
awesome, right? So they
yeah.
come into the hangar, the side,
And-
and this is where actually the special edition works because it shows the
the,
scale,
the amount of
the amount
soldiers,
of
the
soldiers,
troops,
right?
yeah.
and then he comes down and the fear.
Oh, isn't that in the? Because I watched the special.
Not as big,
Not as many.
not
Right.
as many,
Okay.
right?
Yep.
So it's like a row either side. with-
Yeah. Okay.
It's a much expansive shot.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the red
The
guards.
the Imperial guards, yeah.
Like,
guards.
they're the rock stars, mate. They're getting all the girls. They're the drummers. They're the
Yeah, they
drummers,
are.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
They're getting it. They're slaying all the girls.
What's your job? Imperial Guard.
Red Imperial Guard.
Yep.
I thought it was really
Slayers.
it was really cool to see Boba fly.
Yep.
So Boba is his jetpack.
Yes.
But also then in bad, he's
Yeah.
seriously underutilized in
Totally.
this movie.
Totally.
Like a waste of a
They
character.
realise that later.
Yeah, they do realise
Yeah.
that. Many Bothans have died to bring us this information.
Yeah.
Really good line read, but we know nothing of these Bothans,
Yeah.
right? And they say it in Star Wars as well about the Bothan spies, but in 3 movies we still don't know who the Bothans are.
No, but we just
right?
know they died to
We
get
just know
this.
they died to
Get this
the
code.
again. So many Bothans have died again to get us the code again.
Yeah.
Right?
Again.
I think the Emperor is a standout performance. In
Yes.
this
He
movie.
is excellent.
He is a standout, and it's Ian McDiarmid
Yeah.
who would go on to play Palpatine.
Palpatine. Yeah.
And not only that, they weren't going to use his voice, but because he did such a good show of it, they were like, "Oh shit, we're going to use
No,
that."
he was great. A good evil voice.
He is my standout in this.
So we're
movie.
going to do the
Yeah.
voiceover, and then he did that voice, but he did this like Japanese technique where you take it from your stomach.
Yeah.
And you get
Oh,
this low
ooh.
guttural tone, right?
Oh.
And that's what he did, and they were like, "That's awesome. We're going to keep that."
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was great.
because I think they were saying in the previous one it was more of a clipped British accent. That the
It was a
Emperor had.
woman. The Emperor was a woman.
Was it?
in Empire Strikes Back? It's a woman.
What?
She's a woman dressed as a man. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So definitely not a woman in the galaxy.
Right.
just a man,
Yeah.
but it's a
Yeah.
woman
It's
that
only because
plays
there's only Leia.
Exactly right. She might have been his sister.
Yeah. Yeah.
But isn't he Ray's dad? She's Ray's dad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Palpatine?
Well,
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Okay. that's it.
Palpatine's just 10 Slayer.
And look, it's funny because I viewed this watch quite differently, but listening to you guys talk, I'm starting to soften my
Oh,
view on it as well,
mate,
right? I agree. I think the stakes are great.
Yeah.
Whilst it's not as dark and ominous as Empire,
Mm.
and it's a completely different movie, right? Compared to the other two.
Yep.
Mhm.
I think that you're right. The end of the movie, there's a lot of stakes.
Mate, I was thinking, I honestly thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
I was going, this is freaking excellent.
Yeah. Okay. Let's move on to the bad G-Man.
Okay, we've gone through a few of them, the Death Star,
There's a
and I've
few.
got a few questions. And there's not that much bad in the movie. These are little nitpicky ones that I just say. The song part at Jabba's palace, didn't like it in the digitally remastered version. Don't think that song should be in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we? Okay. So
And the whole digitally remastered thing, like the frog catching the fly outside and then burping, I was like, we don't need that.
Yep.
That's just, to me, I hated it.
you don't need. Did the Sarlacc pit burp in the original version?
Don't think so.
I don't think it did.
Only had the
Mm.
tongue, didn't it?
Well, only had the outside sort of.
It had
Yeah.
the-
But this had things coming out.
Well,
Yeah.
it did have some tentacles, but didn't have.
No, I had the tentacle came out. and
didn't have
grabbed his
the
leg, yeah.
beak.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, didn't it? Yeah.
So just quickly, 3PO, as annoying as ever. We covered.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I know,
In
but he served a
parts, in
purpose to
parts.
be
Only at the
annoying.
only at the
Yeah.
start, like
Yeah.
when he's there, he's like just carrying on.
Yeah, I've got a bit to say about him.
We talked about hairdos. General Madine's hairdo. he had like the flop over.
He was a weird looking
Oh,
bloke.
terrible hairdo.
Let's bring this bloke in. It's like,
Yeah.
holy shit, he looked like he was about 5'1".
Yeah.
The worst
Do you
hair,
reckon
beard
he
combo
got in the
ever.
chair and he's like, "Is that what you're going to run with for me to film today?"
He's a dead set, and he's a manager.
How did
Yeah.
they get this bloke? How did he get the role?
He's a nepo baby.
It's
John
like-
Madine. He was a great warrior in Empire Strikes Back. His dad, John Madine, and this is his name's Simon Madine, and he just got nepoed into the.
yeah,
an
because
office
he was
job.
just a real underwhelming looking bloke.
Yeah.
Why didn't Leia catch Han as he fell out of the carbonite? She just let him. Maybe it's because he didn't say "I love you"
He
back.
stumbled.
She just let him fall and
Yeah.
he hit his head.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like,
Yeah.
the Jedi powers on the Rancor had. Why does the apparition of Obi-Wan need to sit down on the rock?
He's a bit tired.
He
was
looks old.
You're an apparition, mate. And he's like, he sits down and takes a weight off. I was like,
He's like,
you're an apparition, mate.
Yeah,
don't
which
need to
means
sit
that he
down on the rock.
he's physically can sit on the rock.
take a load off, Obi.
The other one I had was when Leia and Luke get on the speeder bike
Yep.
And he goes, jam their comms. It's the middle button. And I was like,
How do you
why
know?
is there a specific button to
Yeah.
jam
Comm jammer.
comms?
Com jammer.
It's like,
Press that one.
do that. Oh, there's
On
one
all
button
the
we can
ships.
jam everyone's
On
comms.
all the ships, the big red button in the middle of the
It's like the
console
hazard lights.
is the com jammer.
Yeah.
And how are they experts? You covered that, Whitey.
Well, we
There-
didn't, but yeah, I don't understand
Yeah.
how they are.
So there was another scene. I don't know if I noticed it this time, and then I saw it when I was researching it. There's when they're on the skiff, and Luke's attacking them, and Boba Fett goes to fire the gun at him, and Luke throws a kick at a guy, and it misses. Like it completely
Yeah.
misses, and then the guy falls off. It was dead set con in the castle.
Oh, was it?
Oh my
the
God.
part when he
Yeah,
does the, he
yeah.
does
Oh
the spin
my
kick.
Yeah.
I
I'll tell
noticed
you
it because
what.
he turns and he swings and it misses him by that much,
Mate.
and then the guy falls off.
But the
skip.
saber wasn't even cutting people on that ship. They were just
No.
sort of getting knocked off.
That's
Like
getting bounced
it
off.
was like getting hit with a pool noodle.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my bad. They're just little things, but
Okay.
just notice them.
Damo.
I loved camouflage they all wore when they got down to Endor, except 3PO and R2D2 stood out like dog's balls.
They don't get much.
How good would it have been if they had camo?
Camo,
painted-
yeah, put it.
camo painted
Just put some
3PO.
camo shit on him, yeah.
And just put like like a leaf netting.
Just
on,
something, yeah, on-
on
yeah.
on
So
R2D2.
they stood out. They stood out. The blast area of that Endor shield was gigantic.
Yeah.
Like you got
Yeah.
Harrison running, going run, then the hide. Then they did this cutback shot. And I don't know if it's the end. Did you see him when he's running? Run, go.
I don't think
go,
he's the worst.
go.
I don't think he's the worst athletic prowess in this movie, though.
I know some of the Ewoks.
Mate, if you put him up against Ripley, I don't know who's going to
Yeah.
lose.
Mate,
that
I've
race.
got another
Him-
one.
him and
I've
Ripley
got
running
another one.
together.
I've got another one.
But that blast, they did this then big shot, and it was gigantic. They're
Huge.
all fried.
Yeah.
They're all fried. There's no way. But when those stormed in the middle of the battle, the stormtroopers went and captured, Han and
Yeah.
Leia. This is when the I know bit. When she said,
Yes.
"I've got the." You're in the middle of a battle. You would have just shot them
Yes.
because they were actually no.
Why
I've
are
got
you
you.
capturing them.
Yeah, why capture them? You're in the middle of a battle. They
Rebels,
should have just shot them.
dumb.
Oh, that reminded me. I said that to Whitey before. When they get Han free in the palace, and then Luke goes in and kills the Rancor, and he goes, "Right, we're going to kill you." They don't just kill them there.
No, let's take them
No,
away.
we're going to wait for a day. Then we're going to take you
Yeah,
out to a Sarlacc
The
pit on
Batman,
a skiff.
like the Batman TV series.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, why don't you just bang?
Yeah,
All right, see you later.
I know. And those Ewoks, well, they were quite prepared for that. They set up the logs. They set up the swinging
Very
logs in the
quickly,
trees.
very quickly.
They must have had. They were really prepared.
Yeah.
And rocks dropped from a hang glider, devastating
Devastating.
to the chicken walkers.
Oh, for sure.
Like
For
just
sure.
the armor is hammered by.
It's-
Just get some rocks.
Paper mache.
That's it.
Paper
They're my bad though.
Okay, I've got a bit. The absolute lack of any character building in this movie, like Han is a bit of a shell, Leia is soft. You know what I mean? There's no real except Luke's the only arc we focus on character wise, right? I think that I wanted to see more from the other guys, right?
Like, well, Harrison Ford's still that scoundrel the whole way through.
Yeah, but he's a bit.
He's
a-
cheeky.
but he's jealous. Oh, you can
Oh, he
feel
gets a
Luke.
bit, yeah.
Like, it's like no, this isn't. Stay tough. Who cares? Stay tough.
It's a bit,
Yeah.
they're rounding out the movie. Like
Yeah,
there's that
okay.
bit. There's that. That's what I mean. It is like that. He is a bit like that. I just thought also that how did they like Lando? He just got back in. He tried to get
General.
Han out. No, but then they just got him back and they're we're all mates now. You
Yeah.
sold me down the river last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, you're back. It's sweet. We're all mates.
yeah,
Have my-
that's
Have
true.
my ship.
But
Have
yeah.
my ship, mate.
No, but he's already done the hard yards. He rescued Luke in the Falcon,
yeah,
so he was already.
No,
back-
he's in the good
that's
books.
true.
He's in the
he
good
was
books,
back.
yeah.
So he was playing the long game.
Yeah.
Though. Too much is given away. Like treating us like idiots, which is quite obvious that the target market is kids because, as we said, like Lando doesn't need to pull his mask down. We know it's Lando.
Yeah.
Like anyone knows. Even
like,
blinders.
is that Lando?
Even blinders knows
Yeah.
that's Lando.
He would.
Right?
Yeah.
We don't need to see him properly to know it's him, but Luke shouldn't nod to him on the skiff. He nods to him.
It's like,
and
what was that about?
And
Yeah.
Lando nods back.
Yeah.
And surely someone on there
3,
goes,
2, 1.
why the hell are these guys nodding at each other? Right?
Yeah.
So if you keep him hidden and there's no nod, then when he springs to action,
Surprise.
it's like, oh shit,
Supplies.
there might be 6 people in the cinema that didn't know it was Lando.
Yeah.
Right? The special edition in this
Oh.
movie goes too far.
Yeah.
Ridiculous insert shots like what Gao mentioned. the framing, the crowded framing. So, and you'll see a bit later on, I've got a bit of a surprise, but there's one scene where in the palace where Boba Fett has this, in the original, it was a single shot of him. There's 5 people in the frame now. Everything is like it's too crowded. The movie feels too crowded now.
Yeah.
No wonder there's no Jedis. If you got to kill your dad to become a Jedi, that's a tough crowd.
Well, yeah.
It's a tough crowd.
I think
right?
this is the unique.
Dad's the worst guy in the universe. Though,
It's
so,
not
you
bad,
know, there's that.
but then it's saying, well, okay, in order for you to become Jedi, you got to face the worst human in the galaxy.
It was just a coincidence. He was the opposite to him. He was the Dark Lord, where he's,
Yeah, okay, all right.
it was just coincidence.
So on the skiff, they're on the skiff and they're going out to the Sarlacc pit. Luke says to Han, I used to live here, you know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Han should have said, yeah, I know that, mate. I picked you up from here 5 years ago, dickhead.
Oh, yeah, he was. He was on Tatooine
You're on
as well.
Tatooine. Yeah, I know that, mate. We met here 5 years ago. Remember?
But his-
17,000 credits.
His
Yeah.
response was pretty good.
You're going to die here, you know.
You're going to die here. Convenient.
Yeah. No, it was good, but it's like, thanks,
It's still
mate.
a smart ass comment back. Yes, a typical hand comment.
I think Ben Kenobi plays some dirty pool. Luke's conflicted about having to kill Vader. Well, the Emperor's already won then.
Mm.
Dirty pool, man. It's emotional blackmail.
But he's the last Jedi, isn't he?
Yep.
So
Well,
got a
there is
terrible
there is
movie.
another one.
Well, there is another, but
Oh.
yeah. But I think that's the whole thing. It's
He's
like, well, like
no,
the
you
dark
know what
side's
he
going
is?
to win, and if you don't get this, if you
Yeah.
don't sort this out,
Do you know what Luke is? Luke is the last Jedi that actually has to train to earn his stripes. Further on, you
Yeah.
just become a Jedi.
Yeah, just pick up lightsaber. Yeah, done. Good.
And again, Leia's apparently always known that Luke's
I've always known.
the brother,
Yes.
but still kisses him.
Yeah.
Something weird about this one. It's like I'm kissing my brother. It's because you are. There's a lack of fighter cavalry to attack the Death Star. There's like 10 ships.
Well,
There's
but
like
and they
10
blew up a lot too, and there was still
Yeah,
I think it was the
there's
same.
like 10
No,
ships.
I think when they all went to hyperspace, it seemed like there was a fair whack of them.
10.
Yeah.
There were 10. Now, the Empire, they've got it going on. They're pretty tech savvy. They're pretty smart. I'm not sure that the AT-ATs and ATSTs are the best mode of transport on Endor.
Wow, it's pretty
Now-
rugged terrain.
Yeah,
It's
is
rugged
rugged.
terrain. Now, on Hoth, perfect for Hoth. Snow, big wide feet.
Yep, can't
Like,
spin the wheels.
Can't do anything. And they're
Could
just
fly.
going to fall over.
Yeah. Well, speeder bikes through that really densely thick
speeder
jungle.
bikes aren't the
jungle.
greatest thing to have.
Yeah,
there, yeah.
it's high risk.
Okay, ugly.
So, but if you're on a speeder bike, why couldn't you just fly above the tree line?
I don't
Because
know.
they only go that high.
No,
about
didn't
hover-
didn't
No,
it go high at one stage?
Not really high. I think they're a bit like land speeders.
Mm.
Yeah, they
bikes.
just get off the ground. Yeah.
They are cool. They're a cool
Yeah.
transport though.
Yeah.
Ugly Damo.
But just the thing that got me was seeing Hayden Christensen at the end.
You know
Yeah,
the
remastered.
version I watched.
Doesn't it's got the
Sebastian Shaw.
yeah,
Seb
that's right.
Shaw,
It was ridiculous because why have them when they're in their prime? Obi-Wan
and then he's the
Kenobi's.
only one. Yeah.
It's not. Yeah,
It's
it's not- it's not-
Yeah, it's shit.
it's not Ewan McGregor. Like it was just stupid.
I think what you're getting at is the digitally remastered is the ugly.
It-
And
the
that is
whole-
my ugly.
The digitally remastered shit is horrible. I
Yes.
hate it.
There, I've said my piece.
Okay. Oh, so you guys are done for ugly?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I got a little bit of surprise for ugly. First, I'm just going to mention Gage Roads, our sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Born to watch. G-Man's sucking on a hazy as.
Might get another one in a minute.
Yeah.
Get one
Another
down.
Yeah. Might be warm, but anyway, you can get another one down. Well done, Gage Roads. Get them into you. If you like some good Aussie piss, try Gage Roads. Now, I'm going to start and then I'm going to finish on something really strong.
Ooh.
3PO. If he's the golden god deity that the Ewoks think he is, why doesn't he just tell the Ewoks to let him go? Or why would the Ewoks assume that the people traveling with their golden god are bad?
Well,
Right?
yeah.
Hang on. It's against my programming to impersonate a deity. Please, just you're now dinner. Sorry, 3PO.
Yeah.
I'm your boss. I'm telling you to tell them this. Do it.
He should have. Yes, he should have said because they're about to get
They're
killed.
about to get eaten.
Yes, he could have said, "Look, guys, chill out. Leave them alone." They're hungry little buggers, though. They must have been really hungry. They wanted to eat some
Yeah,
human.
it's a lot of yeah. It's our double cannibal movie. In a
Yeah,
way.
it is. Well, no, they're not cannibals.
No, they're not. But meat,
They're
like
little. They're
humans
just
on the menu.
Yeah,
Our second humans on the menu.
Yeah,
Movie in a row.
yeah.
Okay, now we've talked about the music. There's two glaring differences between the original version and the special edition. And I'm going to just play you a little snippet here.
Mm-hmm.
And I want you to tell me what you think is better. So we're going to start with this one. Here we go. Oh, okay, so
I like it.
that's the original.
Yeah.
That's 83.
Better than the yeah.
That's
Oh,
the
is
Max. That's the Max Rebo band.
Yeah.
So that's 83 Max Rebo. Now this
Oh,
is the special edition,
yeah. This is,
right? Oh, it's hard.
No.
It's horrible that add-on bit.
Do you know, like
No.
it's not necessary.
It's like electric guitars and whatever. It just sounds shit and
And
it
not only
looks
that,
shit.
So
All these tiny little characters, like they didn't have those in the
No.
originals. They just didn't have them.
So the Max Rebo band, the
Oh,
original
yeah.
from the original, the three.
I hadn't seen that Max Rebo band then for like
Yeah.
30 years, maybe.
That's what-
And I'm looking
yeah.
at it going, that is so much better.
So much better.
Yeah.
And so they are a pretty hotly sought after figure, the Max Rebo, and very expensive to get.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's terrible. But
Ah.
then I don't know if you guys remember, but then the end of the movie has changed.
Oh,
So
no,
here
I
is-
saw. I hated the ending in this one too.
Here is the original ending. And then it goes dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
Yeah.
dun, and Richard Mark 1 comes up. Now, that's the original.
Yeah.
It's called Yub Nub,
Okay.
one of the great songs of the 80s.
Yub Nub.
Now, this is
Nim num.
the special edition
Oh, no.
ending, right? So they've taken like what they're on Endor, taken a local piece of music essentially, like the Yub Nub,
Yep.
and they've replaced it with something that doesn't really fit, right? And none of that. Preceding that, we then go around all the worlds.
That's on the
Yeah,
new one, the
celebrate
Hayden
the
Christian.
song.
Yeah, that's
so this-
horrible.
So Hayden
Sounds like
Chri-
a soccer World Cup music.
so exactly right. But Hayden Christensen was only added in like 2005.
Right, and that's when they
After-
showed Coruscant and
after Sith.
Naboo.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So in it's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It sucked.
It does, yeah. But that's not those two are not as bad as the latest
No,
one with
they're not.
Hayden and Coruscant and all that shit.
They definitely are. They
Horrible.
definitely are. But look, the original Jabba song, good. Max Rebo.
Yeah, I liked it.
And
Yeah.
Yub Nub,
Ja.
yeah, Yub Nub, good. It's a good
Yeah.
little. It's a good.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Leave it as it is. Like
Absolutely.
it's a piece of art. Leave it. Don't
Just
have
leave
to
it.
tinker it.
No, you don't.
Move along.
Don't have to go and
it's making
fix-
me ragey.
Okay.
Move along.
Yeah, yeah.
Damos,
Mm.
quick fire.
There'll be nothing from popular culture.
Well,
Jeez. Well, do you know any? where you go?
I'm going with It's a Trap.
It's a
Absolutely,
trap.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that is become now the greatest piece of pop culture.
It's a
from this
trap.
movie.
And the way that Akbar says it.
You know, it wasn't the original words.
It wasn't.
What?
It was, it's a trick. And they
Oh,
they tested
jeez.
it and it went badly, so they
Yeah.
changed it.
Yeah, trap.
And now it's iconic.
It's a
Yeah.
trap.
It's
What
a
else?
trap.
What you got? Anything else? Popular culture? Ewoks?
Ewoks are definitely popular culture.
Anything else?
Oh.
I reckon there's. If you look at it, I mean, the bikini.
Oh,
Yeah,
the
the
little
bikini.
Slave
bikini.
Leia.
Yeah,
Slave Leia.
slave layer, like. Yeah, I think there's plenty of things here.
I think there's, probably not Gow because Gow's a 10 slayer,
Mm.
but I reckon Morgs on his travels may have come across a few Sarlacc pits in his time.
Oh, the Sarlacc pit is 100% popular culture. Yeah, there is plenty. All right, let's go on then. Biggest douchebag, the Burt Young Award for the biggest douchebag.
3PO
Oh,
3PO, yeah.
for not impersonating a deity. That just annoyed me.
yeah, probably. I think okay. I'm happy with that too as well. Yeah.
Yeah. He sucks.
How could this have been a 5-minute movie?
This is hard.
Yeah.
I don't because
No, there's too many pieces in this
no,
puzzle.
there's not. It couldn't happen. And you don't want it to be a 5-minute movie.
Unless Luke went straight there, took him on, killed him, turned into the baddie. No.
Well, the only way it becomes a 5-minute movie is Luke turns to the dark side straight away.
Yeah. Yep. No, it's a bit of a tough one.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you said you got some stuff
Yeah.
for poor sporting
Okay.
prowess.
In the Rancor pit, Luke runs from one side to the other,
Yeah,
and it is
Under the legs.
abysmal. Like
It looked like he was on a treadmill or something, and they
he's-
just, I don't know.
he's up there with Harrison Ford and Ripley for bad runners.
Right.
And mate, the fact that he could pick up that bone,
Big bone.
that massive bone, it was
Yeah.
it looked like he picked it up. And
Yeah.
I was like, it looks very light.
It's
It was-
terrible.
It was bad.
No, as you said, the missing kicks on the skiff.
Oh, yeah.
I think Mark Hamill, he's a stage guy.
Yeah.
Like he's not an athlete.
But the power in the
He's
the
a
bow
voice
and
guy.
arrows too from the Ewoks.
Yeah.
We're up there with the bow and arrow guys in Temple of Doom. It was just like they're just falling flat.
Yeah.
Just
What about the ATST that couldn't handle the
the couple of
rolling under
rocks.
it? Like,
Oh, when he got
I'm
the
down.
logs, the
Yeah, the
tripped him
logs, I
over.
was like, yeah.
Yeah,
Look like Morgs.
yeah. So
Poor-
that could be our first mechanical
Yeah.
poor sporting prowess.
Yeah, it is. Could be.
Okay. Additional scene.
I don't have an additional scene, but I think the movie's better with Wookiees.
I think so.
Could
Yeah,
be.
that's
Would've been
a good one.
Yeah, it would have been a good different take on it. No, I don't think there's anything.
Oh,
more
no, I
you
would
need
like
to
to
see.
seen a bit of force work against the Rancor. Something.
Yeah.
Something.
They did miss an opportunity with a lack of force.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. And also we know that the Ewoks like eating humans. I would have had the Ewoks at the end just feasting on stormtroopers, just chewing away.
Just-
Like that final scene, they're all happy. Yeah, cooking up
Mate,
stormtrooper
did you-
bodies.
did you
But there's
see
a lot of
and
stormtroopers
chewing
Stormtrooper on the
helmets.
spit in the
Yeah,
background.
that would be funny. Yeah,
That would've
taking
been
all
good.
of his white shit off, and there he is spinning around on the
That would've been-
rotisserie.
That would have been very good.
Yeah, I know. Oh, this is a real tough one. Whitey's Brad Pitt, the best looking in the show. Well,
Well, slave Leia.
it's pretty much
That's it.
Smurfette, as we've I think said in every single
Yeah.
Star Wars that we've done. Any Morgs alike? Your Morgs
Oh,
Fortuna.
Big Fortuna.
Good Fortuna's Morgs.
You know what? I reckon,
Gamorrean Guards, Fat Morgs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, there's a lot of
that was
Morgs.
Fat
Yeah.
Morgs.
There was a guy on the skiff with the I forget what his name is. I fucking know what his name is, but he's got like the braid and he looks like a prune. Looks a bit like Ant-Man.
I reckon Carrie Fisher looks a bit like Stevie Nicks, sort of. And I looked at quite a few times. I was like, God, she looks like Stevie
A
Nicks.
lot of similarities.
Oh yeah, I know.
They both
Party.
Had,
They'd have been
they both
smashing
had
it up
some
together.
pretty good
They would have
coat
been
nails.
friends. Yeah.
The Carrie Fish coat nails in
Is it in this?
Return of the Jedi.
I
Is
didn't
it?
see
You see it when they're when him and her and Han are at the shield generator.
Yep.
She's got her hand.
Oh,
on
and
his
there is
shoulder.
his big nail.
Massive coke nail.
And yeah, she denies it.
She snooted. She
Yeah,
can deny all she wants.
yeah, I know.
She can deny all she wants.
Well, that's it for quickfire.
Well,
quick-
it's
quick fire.
It's a very quick fire, which is how it's supposed to be, Dan. That's why it is called quick fire. Now we move into what is fast becoming the sixth favorite segment on this show.
Top 6.
Yeah. Snobs report.
Yep, Cockburn in. Well, this was a really freaking tough one. You'd think Carrie Fisher might have done something. No,
Yeah.
the most that she's done is in this slave Leia.
Really?
So what I've done, I've kind of cheated here. I've gone to a bit of a this is more of like a 1 degree report. So you've got Debbie Lee Carrington, who is Romba Ewok. Now there's only 3 snorbed entry into the Snorbs report, triple Snorbs, and that was Total Recall.
Total Recall, yeah.
So Romba Ewok, Debbie Lee Carrington was Thumbelina.
The little girl. She's
Yeah.
Thumbelina.
The little prostitute,
Yeah.
the midget prostitute,
Yeah.
Thumbelina, who was my Brad Pitt for Total Recall.
You wanted to throw around a bit.
So she is, so she's my Snorbs report. You got Debbie Lee Carrington. She was with that great 3 snorbed woman in
Wow.
Total Recall.
It's a long
Because it was the only, it's 1 degree.
Yeah.
It's 1 degree, but we've never done a 3 snorbed woman. So
No,
it's
we haven't.
like a Hall of Famer.
It is. She's Hall of Fame.
So yeah, so that and that's basically it for the Snorbs report. Because other than that, there's nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, got burnt out.
Rock burn out. That was it. Okay.
Yeah, quick one.
Listen to this stats guy. Take it away.
Okay. You might have this one, Whitey, but I'm gonna go through it about Jabba the Hutt.
Go for it.
It took 6 people to work the full-size animatronic of Jabba the Hutt. It fit 3 men inside, 2 to operate the arms,
Jesus.
head, and tongue, and another to move the tail. A man lying below the puppet pulled the strings to move Jabba's mouth and make his sides heave, and 2 radio operators controlled the slimy goon's eyes, including pupil dilation, direction, and his eyelids. A final crew member was responsible for rubbing gel on the puppet to give Jabba his slimy look. They had a gel
The
guy.
KY
Gel guy.
Hey, where's Gel guy? He's in the bathrooms again.
Is that in the credits?
He's pulling himself off. How come we
Testing the product.
How come we keep running out of the gel?
Yes.
Jono's in the dunnies again with the slave girl outfit.
It took the team 3 months to build, cost $500,000 to make it, and it weighed
Wow.
2,000 pounds.
Okay.
Shit.
Let me throw something out here. If you're the guy operating the tail and someone farts in that suit,
Yeah, if you're if 3 of you are in there,
going to die. Like if Gao farts in
death chamber.
if we're in that, if the 3 of us are operating Jabba and Gao farts in that suit, we don't get out alive. It's like the Poseidon adventure. Right? We're trying to get to the end to try and find the hole.
Yeah, try to get out.
You're like, I'm not going to make it. I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah, just give up on life.
Yeah.
Just let it overcome you.
It'd be 3 people's tongues like this.
The growls and the sounds in the Rancor's pit were actually made by a dash hound.
Oh,
Took from a dash hound.
They're shit dogs.
pick
now,
that. I pick that.
Now,
But it's funny that the tiniest dog
Little,
you can get.
little
they're a shit-
lowrider.
they're a shit dog.
Okay, a lot of people.
Dutch
yeah.
hounds because they're the sausage dogs.
Yeah, lowriders.
and
Yeah.
they are
You might offend your mate Robot here.
no, and this is all love and respect goes out to Robot, but your dog's shit. They are evil dogs.
Okay.
They're
They're part Rancor.
no. So what the thing is that there's a girl, someone in Bell's soccer team has a dash hound.
Yeah.
And I've been to about 4 different occasions. I've been to training or at a game. 2 of those occasions, it's attacked another dog just for no reason.
Mental case.
They are actually really mean dogs.
It's got small dog syndrome.
They've got small dog syndrome. They're mean dogs.
Wow.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I would understand that it would make the Rancor thing.
Yeah.
The Rancor noise.
Yeah.
Richard Marquand was actually one of the 2 ATST drivers who gets hijacked by Chewie.
With the
He was one
glasses
of them
on.
in
Yeah,
there,
okay.
yeah, and the 2 Ewoks.
Radio.
After appearing in this movie, 2 Wedge Antilles.
Wedge.
Good old Wedge was the only X-Wing pilot, apart from Luke, who survived all 3 movies.
Mate, he loved standing there at the end holding his helmet.
He just held his
Yeah.
helmet. Leave it in your shit,
Yeah,
mate.
that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Leave your helmet in your shit. Right? Fucking dark.
It would have been nice if you see him flying along in his ship and he's got like a photo, like a little shrine to Porkins. or
Porkins.
something, yeah. This one's
That's
for you,
right.
Porkins.
Yeah. Cop that.
And when he fires the blast, it's just for Porkins.
For the Shire. Just like in Lord of the Rings. For Porkins.
For Porkins. Anything else, G?
No, that's it.
Damo, you got anything?
Covered a few things before, but I'll go one thing too that George Lucas spoke to a psychologist because after Empire, when Vader said, "No, I am your father," they thought a lot of people wouldn't believe it, especially a lot of kids, because Vader said it. So they needed Yoda to actually confirm it, to actually go, "Oh shit, it's actually the truth."
Yeah.
So
From a certain point of view.
yeah.
Well, even further, James Earl Jones actually said, "I don't believe it is his father." Like,
Right.
when he was like, "I don't believe it." So they're like, "We really need to."
Yeah, they
do
need
something
to.
about
Yeah,
this
so
to-
having Yoda then confirm it.
Yeah.
Right, it's the truth.
James Earl Jones should have remembered stopping Natalie Portman, though.
He should have.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's something you wouldn't forget.
Yeah.
No,
he wouldn't
yeah,
forget
she's a
that.
good sort. Yeah. Bad mate.
Especially because he was probably a virgin. Anakin was probably a virgin before that.
Mm.
He was having a lot of wet dreams, though,
Yeah.
in Attack of the
Yeah,
Clones.
sweating it up a storm.
Awful.
Yeah, that's it. Listen to
Okay.
this.
Fake scripts were distributed to some cast members who were deemed untrustworthy.
Ooh,
And from those scripts, some of the story elements were leaked.
leaked. Yeah,
So
and you
they
go,
knew,
I know where that's come from.
you know what it is? KY Johnny,
Yeah,
we can't give him the real script.
yeah.
Because what he's going to do, he's going to jerk himself off to the gold bikini and then go and tell everyone about the storyline.
Sounds like a good afternoon.
Yeah.
You know they do that. They obviously just sent like 5 or 6 different
Yeah.
things out, and then they know when one gets out that we
Yeah,
only
it's
gave
like-
that. We only gave that to Johnny.
Yeah.
So
Johnny
one,
the KY
one-
guy.
one of the storylines was Lando being revealed as the last hope for the Jedi.
Oh wow.
And so, but come on. He can't even hide behind his mask.
No.
Good moustache, though.
Yeah.
So,
Lando was too busy. That was too close. Thanks.
A pirate.
thanks, vaginal faced
Oh.
co-pilot.
Hold on a sec. Chrissy's here, and there's no one home upstairs.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they must be at the gate.
Hang on.
That door's open. I opened it.
Go up.
but I think they're probably standing outside going, we shouldn't go in.
Hang on. Hang on, G. Chrissy's here.
Okay.
Yeah. Where are you?
Just upstairs in the study.
Okay. All right.
All right, bye.
I'm not talking about the linen, and I don't
Wanna
want to
change
change
your
your
mind.
mind.
But there's a warm wind blowing when the stars are around. And I really wanna see it
tonight.
Really wanna see it.
We're not talking about the linen, and I don't.
Oh God.
That dog. Fucking
Oh
hate
shit. Oh shit. What's that dog's name again?
Pippet.
No, is that Pippet or is that Cow's dog?
That's our dog. And I really want to see it tonight.
Really wanna see him. Here comes the Sarlacc pit. Yeah. That's what we should call this. Here we are in the Sarlacc pit.
All right. Let's wrap her up on the final stretch.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Originally titled Revenge of the Jedi, but producers thought the Jedi wouldn't seek revenge
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
due to their ethical code. Some posters and theatre stand-ups were made early, and you can buy a poster with Revenge of the Jedi, which is pretty cool, but they were quickly pulled. So before filming began, it was discovered all of Vader's lightsaber props had been lost or stolen.
Yeah, stolen for sure.
Stolen for sure. So one of Luke Skywalker's stunt cocks had to be made into a Vader. So one of his stunt prop
Oh,
lightsabers had to be made into a Vader. And yeah, it takes place 5 years before The Mandalorian.
right.
that's right, yeah.
Season 1,
Right.
which is a great Star Wars property.
Yep.
Season 1 and Season 2, anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, quotables. Anyone got anything?
I had the other one before with we'll double our efforts or whatever.
Yeah.
But the bit of tugging at the heartstrings at the end. I can save you. And he said when Luke said
Yeah.
take your mask off, he said you already have.
Yes.
Yes,
Oh,
but it definitely did hit you a bit.
Yeah,
It's like, hang on, this is good. There is some good in him, and it really did. It hit. I think it
Yeah.
definitely hit.
fair enough. G-Man, anything?
It's a trap, obviously. I had Lando with, come on, Han, old buddy, don't let me down.
You sounded like it. You got that tone.
Oh,
Yeah,
deep timber.
you old
Yep.
pirate.
And then Han on the skiff, Boba Fett, where?
Yeah.
And knocks him off. I actually have. Did we get this last time? I've got a clip of all the. I got a bad feeling about this through every Star
Oh
Wars
yeah,
movie,
yeah. It was
cartoon,
yeah.
everything. There's a clip, so maybe we can upload that later.
Yeah, we will upload
Yeah,
it.
it's
Yeah,
cool. It's really cool
Yeah, very good. Love that, G.
because it's twice in this movie. I think
3PO.
3PO says it when they
and
come
Han says
in,
it.
and then Leia says it. I think later in the movie.
Okay.
Someone says it later in the
Yeah.
movie.
Okay, cool. I got one, Han. A Jedi Knight. Geez, I'm out of it for a little while, and everyone gets
Delusions of Grandeur. Yeah, that is a good one actually. Yeah.
And then I like it. Luke and Han on the skiff together again, huh? Wouldn't miss it. How we doing? Same as always.
Yeah.
That bad, huh?
Yeah, that was some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously many Bothans died to bring us this information.
Thanks,
Who
Mom
the
Mothma.
fuck are the Bothans? Anyone get a 1 degree of Kurt Russell?
Should we go back to the old one that he auditioned for the Han Solo part?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Okay, film school for F-wits. Now,
Mm.
in light of Dan trying to have some involvement in the podcast, he sent through the Rotten Tomatoes live action Star Wars ranking breakdown. Now, I'm just going to probably do the top 10 about where they rank on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Endor Season 2, 99%. Andor Season 1, 96%.
Oh my god.
A New Hope, 94. Empire, 93. Force Awakens, 93. Mandalorian Season 1, 93. Season 2, 93. Skeleton Crew, 92. The Last
Jesus. Oh,
Jedi,
for God's sake.
91.
Yeah.
Ahsoka, 85.
Good God.
Mandalorian Season 3, 84. Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, 84. And Return of the Jedi, 82. Now, in light of that, I thought we'd do just off the cuff what our own top 5s would look like if we were to rank them. And Damo, how do you go?
I was just going to go on that list there is just dog shit. The Last Jedi, I gave it 0.5 out of,
I gave it 1 out of 5.
and I gave it a 0.5 or 0.25.
0.5.
Yeah.
It's
It's
0.75.
just rubbish. So I'm going just in order: Star Wars, Empire, and then Return of the Jedi. The best 3, in that order.
Yep.
4, 5, and 6, and then I would go to the oh god, what is the one called?
Mandalorian.
Rogue
Right.
One?
Rogue One. Yep, I go to Rogue One, and then I would go to Revenge of the Sith as number 5.
Okay. Yeah, cool.
That's my 5.
Okay. G-Man?
I'm going to go with the original trilogy, same order as Damo.
Really, I
And-
thought you'd Empire at first.
Well, no, we'll say Empire and Star Wars sort of the same
Yeah,
for me. So
yeah,
like you can
yeah.
interchange
yeah,
those.
1A,
Then-
1B. 1A, 1B.
1A, 1B, and then obviously Return, and then Mandalorian.
okay.
That'll do me.
What 1 and 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't seen. a lot
What
of the
about Rogue
others.
One? Have you seen Rogue One?
I can't remember. I
It's
got
got,
over it. I
um,
got over it a bit because there was so much content coming out, and I didn't like some of it.
Rogue One was the first Disney movie that they
But-
did. That was their first release, but they took over and they did Rogue One.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. Very good. Okay, mine is Star Wars Empire.
Yep.
Rogue One at 3.
All right.
Revenge of the Sith at
Yep,
4.
yep.
Return of the Jedi at 5.
Right.
And I'd say 3, 4, 5 are pretty close.
Look-
There is Star Wars and Empire and Light. There is a massive distance between those two and the other 3.
Well, because I went to the movies last week and watched Revenge of the Sith, and I couldn't even have it anywhere near the ballpark of the first 3.
Yep.
I don't mind it, but it's just nowhere near for me. I was like, God,
I find, and we'll get to this a bit later on when we're close to ranking, but
yeah.
I just find that this is this feels a bit selloutish. This movie to me,
Mhm.
a little bit selloutish. I love the Revenge of the Sith story. I loved seeing him turn. It's dark.
He went from 0 to 100
He did.
in 1 second.
He did.
I
And
was like,
yeah.
what? Yeah.
And not only that, like, to be honest, like it's all for the pussy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, fair call then.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Sorry,
That-
I have seen Rogue One. Yes, it is a good movie.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
a good movie. It's got Ben Mendelsohn in it.
Yeah.
I also want to hark back.
1 degree of quickly down under.
Yes, there is 1 degree of Quigley. There is 1 degree of Quigley.
Yeah.
There is also 1 degree of Kurt, sort of.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford turned down the role in Vanilla Sky that
Oh.
Kurt Russell eventually took.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's a real stretch, Gav.
It's a
Really
stretch,
is.
but it's close.
Yeah.
Close enough.
Not bad.
We're giving Kick-Ass credit song a wide berth and just letting.
We had our songs before.
We've done Yub Yub,
Yeah.
Yub Nub, but we're letting the Chainsaw is my weapon of choice just sit and soak.
Oh, is it?
Sit
Yeah.
and soak. It's one of the hits.
Is it been critically acclaimed?
Oh, it has been by me.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't give a fuck what anyone else says. Definitely has been by me. Star of the show, G-Man, who you got?
Oh, that's a tricky
It's a
one,
tough
isn't
one.
it? That's a tough one.
I think it's easy.
The Jedi?
Oh,
No, the Emperor. For me, it's the Emperor.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a
I
good
think
call.
he gives the best performance in the movie.
He really raises the stakes because he says, I know that you're doing this. We know that this is coming. And he's a stepper. He's playing 4D chess with them all.
Yes.
But I'm going to go for Mark Hamill. I'm going for Luke.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Luke, and then but all of them back together. Yeah, it's hard. I don't know if there's any standout for me. I'm going to go with Luke. I do like that call, Whitey. I think that's really good.
Yeah, look, even Darth Vader was fantastic. But and I always have to probably mention John Williams too, just for the
Oh, well, no, I
Imperial
think
March.
he's a given, right?
Yeah.
So he's a given.
Oh, another thing, sorry, that I had there was
too late.
that no, John Williams' son, Joseph Williams,
Mm.
Oh yeah.
is in Toto.
Yeah, he's the lead
Bullshit.
singer.
He was one of the lead singers
Yeah.
in Toto.
Oh well, but not it was Billy Kimball was the main.
No, but he was one of the session because they're all session
Oh,
singers.
yeah,
but he
they
was
are.
one of
Yeah.
them,
Oh, was he? Wow.
Yeah.
Hold the line.
Love is always
Feel the
on
rains down in Tatooine. Well done, people. The rank bang.
Mm.
Now this was
There's
a
a
lot,
lot of few.
lot-
There's quite a few
but
things.
there's a bit more difficult than I thought. So I've gone with Salacious Crumbs.
Oh, yeah,
Mhm.
it's pretty good.
We could go with Morg's Fortuners.
Yeah,
Traps.
it's a trap.
Salt and pepper Akbars
Oh,
because he's Mon Calamari.
oh my God, that is your dad joke for everyone out
You
there.
like that?
Yeah.
Boom, tish.
Yeah.
Salt and pepper Akbars. Golden bikinis. Force lightning bolts.
Mm.
Vagina-faced co-pilots. Me and Num.
Oh wow, yes.
Num nub.
Yep.
Yum, yum.
Human sex dolls.
What?
Leia.
All right.
Anything?
Sarlacc pits.
I personally like KY guys.
Oh Jesus, that could be any movie.
KY guy.
What was the first one you said? Bib Fortuners or something? No.
Oh,
Morg's
no,
Fortunes.
Salacious Crumbs.
Salacious, I like Salacious Crumbs, but
I'm happy
Green
with that.
green sabers.
No. Let's go with Salacious Crumbs. Sorry, Gav.
I'm just throwing
Shut
stuff
down.
out there.
Shut
I
down.
didn't say go with it.
Salacious Crumbs, because he unsung. He could have been my man of the match.
Really?
No.
He's a fuckwit.
He's-
Shit. Okay, Damo, how many Salacious Crumbs are you giving Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, I think it's a bloody good movie. I hadn't watched it for a long time, and like I said, the finale and just the way the story built and the way that the story was finalized with a wonderful denouement, which I love. I gave the others, I think, 5.5, I
Yes.
think, but I'm going to give this 4.5. I think it's a really bloody good Star Wars movie. It filled with nostalgia as well for me.
Love it. Love a bit of nostalgia. G-Man, what about you? How many Salacious Crumbs?
Agree, guy. 4.5.
4.5.
Yeah,
Bloody agree, guy.
Rounds it out.
Okay.
Loved it.
Like it. I like where you guys are going with this. Okay, I'm not a Greer guy today.
Simon Cowell.
It's not a 5. There's no doubt about that. It doesn't come close to the
1 and 2.
brilliance
Oh, 4 and
of
5.
Empire and Star Wars. It just doesn't. It's going to lose 0.25 for me because I think it's a sellout. I think there's too many of George Lucas's fingers in this. He was off. He was creatively not so much involved in Empire because Ivan Kershner directed. He was an experienced director. He took it, and his prints are on that. George comes back in, essentially directs this movie like Ghost directs it, and you get what you get, right? 4.25 Salacious Crumbs for me.
Yep.
8.5. I still thoroughly enjoyed watching it.
Yep.
It's definitely out of the three, the one I revisit the least.
Yep.
G-Man, where does that put us?
Interesting. It's down the list a little bit, even though I got high scores. So it's 4.42 Salacious Crumbs. It's equal with Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh my God.
Fight Club, Edge of Tomorrow.
Well, yeah, I agree
And
with that.
it is right above Top Gun Maverick at 4.33 hard decks. It's above First Blood.
Okay.
Field of Dreams at 4.33. So yeah, it brings us in at around, where are we? 4.42. Number 31 spot, equal 31.
Okay.
31st. So that's down a little bit. There's a lot of good movies. Braveheart, Warrior, Raiders, Lethal Weapon, heaps above it.
Mm.
But that's about right for me.
Yeah, I think it's around that 4.5. It's about what it is. I think it's well done. Now we've got to the end. Now it's sad because it's the end of what could be the greatest trilogy ever made. And I know Damo probably doesn't agree with that, but
it's definitely up there though.
it's in the conversation.
Yeah. But what about the Ewok trilogy? Marauders of Endor, Caravans of Courage. Is there another one?
No, thank
Oh,
God.
damn
It's a duo.
All right. Well, that'll be the next May the
biology.
4th.
Yeah, the Caravan of Courage is the one at DY.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, God, I tell you what, I took down some of them.
Oh, yeah.
But I've got to say, the greatest thing that ever happened was the Kebab World across the road.
Oh,
The best, greatest restaurant in the world.
Yep,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Gets 10 bathroom disasters for me, like Kebab World.
Yeah.
You know things are rough when you ring up and the guy knows your order. And when you haven't rung him for 2 years and he still knows your order.
But the real good amount of chicken salt on their chips.
Oh, mate, the chips were incredible.
Yeah.
You really needed like a 5-litre bottle of Coke.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Next week, we are going from a galaxy far, far away to a World War II fairy tale.
Oh, I can't think of it.
One of the great modern day directors, could be the greatest modern day director. Inglorious Bastards.
Oh.
I was watching it just the other week. It was on in the middle of it. I watched it.
Now-
I've tried twice and I've turned it off twice.
Now, Damo is not a Quentin Tarantino guy.
Yeah, I got halfway through, maybe not a quarter of the way through twice and went, no, done. I'll have to try and force myself.
It's one of the great. It's
Yeah.
one of the great movies. It's to go with his. It's along with his fairy tales,
Mm,
along with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood,
yeah.
Christoph Waltz.
rewriting history.
Yeah.
With an incredible finale.
Or maybe I'll have to see what the finale looks like.
But Christoph Waltz, in his first role as Hans Landa,
Unbelievable
is
actor.
just unbelievable.
Chilling.
Yep, he does play.
That opening scene in the movie.
Great.
Wow.
Really good. Really good.
Mm.
Really looking forward to, and yet it's going to be an 8-ball. Well, we're all in. The whole team.
Right.
Wow.
The whole team is in.
Yep.
Some exciting news moving forward. We're going to do an episode with Matty Beer Geek, Starship Troopers.
Nice.
Oh,
He's here for
wow.
He's gonna
Starship.
come on. He's going to come
Excellent.
Snobs report.
in. So we're going to do him. That's going to happen in the next few weeks. We'll just confirm that.
You know, Denise Richards now does OnlyFans.
Yes, she does with her daughter.
Well, are they in the same? Well, they both got separate accounts.
Yeah, I
but
reckon they do some collaboration.
Jesus. Yeah.
You know, you're really scraping the bottom.
You
of the
hit
barrel.
50 and it's like, you know what? I'm going to start doing
With
OnlyFans.
Diora Bird,
Yeah.
and they
Bed,
all do it.
Yeah.
Should we consider a real Born to Watch OnlyFans? Do you think there'd be any go for that? Yeah,
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
I reckon what would happen is that we get quite a few subscribers in Canada
Radio feast.
and the northern
Yeah.
hemisphere.
See
Let's-
Gal's
let's
buns
see.
moving up and
We'd
down.
We'd have to think about it. How much of our demographic is women?
Or maybe some men want to watch us.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's-
we may struggle on the subscription service.
Do you know what?
We'll
do you
be
know-
millionaires in a
Might need
month.
to be a free OnlyFans.
Do you know what is? It's a really good point you make there, Gow. we know that we have at least 2 female listeners,
Mm.
right? So we've got my wife
Yep.
and the perps.
Yeah.
That's effectively our female demographic. I would love for a couple of our female listeners to reach out, send us a message. You don't have to send any photos.
Ask for nudes.
Don't you can ask us for nudes.
Say,
You probably won't get them, but we would love to hear from some of our female F-wits.
If you're lucky,
just-
you might get a Men of League
you
shot.
might get a dick pic.
You might get a Men of League shot with a footy placed.
It might be an
Yeah.
arty
Yeah,
nude.
oh, yeah,
we,
right,
could
yeah.
do, we could do some arty nudes,
Yeah.
right?
Black
I
and
don't
white.
think there's a
Side. It could be all side.
It's got to all be side, right? But we'd love to hear from, if there are any,
Mm.
just send us a message on Instagram or on Facebook, or
Yeah.
leave a voicemail on borntowatch.com.au, or just send us an email on the website. It'd be great to hear from any other female listeners, because at the moment our demographic is trending 99.97% male.
Yeah.
Surprise us.
Yeah.
People, it's been awesome. We have rounded out one of the great trilogies ever made.
have.
G-Man, thank you again.
Speak to you all next week. Au revoir, Shoshana.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
good God.
Damo,
Au revoir, something.
well, this could be my masterpiece. Bye for now.
Bye.